wanna see you, but you fall apart. Even though you told me to get back your heart, I still spin inside your orbit. Yeah. You say that I should probably start to walk away. I'm hoping that you stop and make me have to stay, 'cause I'm floating in your orbit. Yeah, I'm stuck in your space, just my luck. Put me away, you understand. There's nothing left to say. Pull me back, take my hand, call my name. You understand, I wanna stay. 'Cause I don't wanna walk away. 'Cause I don't wanna walk away. 'Cause I don't wanna walk away. Yeah, I'm stuck in your space. It's my luck. Put me away, you understand. There's nothing left to say. Pull me back, take my hand. I wanna leave, you understand. I wanna stay. 'Cause I don't wanna walk away. I wanna see you, but you fall apart. Even though you told me to get back your heart, still spinning inside your orbit. I should probably start to walk away. I'm hoping that you stop and make me have to stay, 'cause I'm floating in your orbit. Pull me back, take my hand, call my name. You understand, I wanna stay. 'Cause I don't wanna walk away. Yeah, I'm stuck in your space. It's my luck. Put me away, you understand. There's nothing left to say. Pull me back, take my hand. I wanna leave, you understand. I wanna stay. 'Cause I don't wanna walk away. 'Cause I don't wanna walk away. Pull me back, take my hand, call my name. You understand, I wanna stay. 'Cause I don't wanna walk away. Cause I don't wanna walk away. Cause I don't wanna walk away.
How heavy is that? Light work with the bass on the track, on my face to the back like I'm taking a slap. I need a drink but it's straight from the tap. And I'm hating the slack, couple man slide around like they hate in the gaff. Please stop talking that trash, cause the vibes in the front all the way to the back. Is that light work with the bass on the track, on my face to the back like I'm taking a slap. I need a drink but it's straight from the tap. And I'm hating the slack, couple man slide around like they hate in the gaff. front all the way to the back.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. All right, so today we are getting into our Pro Series Season 5 Week 2. So, yeah, Patchy, I'm really looking forward to today. Hoping to have some pretty good action here. And, yeah, just waiting for everything to get started.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm keen. Obviously, we've seen some of these teams in the past. In fact, most of them in the past, we've seen them do some really spicy stuff. So I'm really expecting to see a great performance here over these few matches tonight. And yeah, I'm can't wait to get into it.
Yeah, there we go. All right, so here we have our teams, our lineup for today. So as you can see, of course, we've got the Dragons over in slot 2. We've got the players there from Ekasi over in 3 and 4. We've got the Exiles in 5. We've got Exist in 6. We've got Gun in 7. We have Hub in 8. We have ISO in 9. And we've got the players there from MEA Africa. We've got Odyssey in 11. We've got the Outsiders in, well, Odyssey in 10, sorry. Outsiders in 11. We've got ResHaunted in 12. We've got the players from Shellshock in 13. House of Anubis in slot 14. We've got the players from Spaza Gaming in 15. Temper in 16. And then, of course, the players from Vibrant Gaming up in slot 17. And yeah, a pretty good flight path though. Well, not well for this section of the map. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, well, it goes over the military base, so that's quite nice. But it goes all the way down from the northeast down to the south. So obviously that whole western portion is going to be sort of off limits, which is interesting because obviously one of those hot spots that we keep talking about is there in George and of course Hospital and also of course ResHaunted School and Pachinki. So interesting to see that the flight path is very much towards that eastern side, which means that the teams at a stretch will be able to make it to ResHaunted School and of course Pachinki. But yeah, they're going to have to make a different plan if they want to get over to George. Or perhaps just pick something else. And it seems that a lot of teams have picked to drop down into that military base. I can see about 4 of them there already.
Yeah, so it's definitely going to be interesting. We've got a few teams, of course, heading up in towards Pachinki as well. And then also we have 2 teams already touching down in Yasnaya, that being the players there from Odyssey as well as the team from ISO. So now we're just keeping an eye on them, trying to see, can we spot anything interesting starting in the early game. So it seems like we've got the Dragons, of course, already mobilizing themselves. And then those teams down over in the military base, they might even start fighting anytime soon. So let's see how this goes. Yeah.
Quite a couple of teams very, very close. You can see in Pachinki, there's about 3 teams just sitting on top of one another, that being the Exile team. You can see Simp God from Hub and, of course, House of Anubis, I think it is. And yeah, some of the rest of the teams up towards ResHaunted, just sort of surrounding the area. You can see Yasnaya populated almost exclusively by Odyssey and ISO. And ooh, looks like Tempo's going to start pulling the trigger already towards SG.
Yeah, Mayo opening fire there. We've got Flacco and Mayo both now rotating up Deity right up ahead of them. So let's see, will they get any hits in on Deity, as he's of course now making his way through the building here. Slowly but surely moving up. Oh, Mayo goes down. What a shot.
Yeah. Well, some return fire coming straight in there from Flaco.
Yeah, no, he was definitely returning the favor. So, yeah, the players there from Spaza, of course, now left with Berserk, Chris, and Staples. And the players there from House of Anubis already also getting a quick few hits in on their Exiles there.
Yeah, so a lot of that early action, which we always love to see, that being, of course, in Pachinki and then, of course, in that military base. So, yeah, I'm interested to see if these or how these pan out at least. And of course, you'll see that zone sitting there on towards the western side of the map, centered just almost around Gatka there. So that's going to be all the teams on the eastern side having to move up at some stage. Still plenty of time, though. That blue zone, obviously, that first couple of ones moving very, very slowly. So we're waiting to see if House of Anubis and Exiles can duke it out. And, of course, Temper here and SG.
Yeah, and we had Flacco sneaking in that quick hit. Down goes Chris. So they've got only one more player left. Staples and Chris both getting knocked out. So let's see, will Berserk be able to make it up in towards safety? As we might see the shots. It is very open. Ooh.
Yeah, just has to sort of abandon that position. Unfortunately, it's going to put them in a very difficult spot. Berserk going to have to try and survive as much as possible, but the shot's just coming straight into the back. And that is going to mean that SG go and hit that lobby first.
Yeah. Well done to Temper for getting those first few hits so quickly. So already 4 kills to them just there. So well played, well done. So we are now back up into Pachinki. We got the players here from House of Anubis, the Exiles, and then of course Hub. So the 3 teams now busy making their way around.
Yeah, they're sitting on opposite sides of this big Pachinki compound here, so they could still be some time before they see one another or before they decide to engage, if they decide to engage at all. But yeah, I'm hoping to see. I am hoping to see some engagement. I am hoping to see, a little bit of that decisiveness that perhaps that we were looking for previously in some of the previous matches that we were casting. We wanted to see that kind of stuff. So hopefully we get it here.
Yeah,
we'll see if that is the case.
Yeah, we really do hope so. But the teams are quite spread out at the moment, aside from the 3 teams that we've got up in Pachinki. The rest of the map is pretty open, pretty well, widely spread out. So I'm pretty sure our first bit of action we're going to get will be, of course, between the players here from the House of Anubis and the team here from the Exiles, as they are getting very close. Cheddar and MG just on the opposite side of the opening here between the compounds.
Yeah, there's only 15 teams on the map right now, so still there'll be plenty of space, in the first zone or 2 just to move around and get comfortable, So all the teams right now are just focusing on, getting themselves prepared and getting ready before they move in. You can see Vibrant moving there just north of Pachinki. They are moving around the red zone, right on top of Pachinki there. Just putting on a little bit of that pressure, just making sure they're on their toes.
Yeah, and this red zone is pretty persistent today. I mean, twice in a row landing in the same area. So these teams have a bit of a tough session here. They can't really rotate too much, can't move too much because, there is that threat of the red zone, of course, coming in and sneaking in a few kills. And that one bomb there from the red zone landing nearly on top of Cheddar. Fortunately for him, he was in the building. But yeah, that is one of the definite threats that we've got about the red zone is sometimes it's a bit cruel.
Yeah, can always catch you off guard. So you got to be a little bit wary about that. But ultimately, most of these teams will have the time to be able to rotate up. You can see Temper there actually sitting still on the military base, but since the zone is large enough to encompass that, they're still A-OK for the moment. MEA all the way on the other side of the base. And the rest of the teams sitting towards the east, just getting themselves prepped and ready to move out as soon as that zone starts to move in and push all the teams inward towards that zone.
Now we're seeing the players here from House of Anubis also starting to, slowly surround the team. Ooh, there we go. We got some explosions happening there with 6. But the House of Anubis team, so they've split up. They've gone for the 2-2 split. And you can see we've got 2 players over towards the northwest, and of course then the other 2 just over towards the north. And they are searching and trying to find an angle to get hold of the teams that they've got just up ahead of them. But it seems like the Exiles are slowly but surely making their way out of Pachinki, or maybe just rotating up to a less contested area there.
Yeah, and we'll see with time. We'll see what happens.
Oh, there we
Yeah,
go.
the shots. Ooh, House of Anubis pulling that trigger. They're going to be the first ones to be rewarded. We'll see if that continues, though. See how the Exiles respond to the situation. You can see House of Anubis have made sort of a crescent shape just around the compound. Very, very spread out. They've got a whole almost line, you know, to try and make a net of sorts to catch any prey that might wander in. The Exiles there right in the center, just making sure that they're reinforcing their position, bolstering themselves, preparing for an inevitable fight.
Yeah, well, we've got offline and Helios already now rushing up, making their way up over towards the Exiles here. So let's see, will they get a successful push on the team? You can just hear the shots, of course, now being fired off, trying to land some of those hits.
Yeah, and not to mention that the one player from Hub, which is the entire Hub team in this particular match, is sitting there behind them. So
Yeah.
could potentially do something, maybe something a little bit spicy, if he chooses the right moment to move in. Also, he could just take the opportunity to leave if he so chooses.
Yeah, well, he could potentially sneak in a pretty good third party, as you know,
Yeah.
the two teams here are pretty much focused on each other. So he might maybe just get a bounce on these teams, and, you know, come in with an unexpected move. But you know, only time will tell. We'll see what he decides to do. But for now, we're just watching the shots fly across. Helios getting hit now. Ooh, Hidden gets taken down by Storm. So flanking all the way around. Right up there to Simcod. Oh, we got some shots now flying across from Simp's side.
Yeah, and that's one of the powers of the flank. Obviously, you can get some unexpected angles there, which can reward you. Now, the Exiles need to respond to this and stave off the defense, or stave off the attack coming out here from a House of Anubis.
Ooh, we got MEA also now rotating up. We just saw them off in the distance there for a brief moment. So let's see what's going to happen. The House of Anubis now starting to close in. Up they come, moving in bit by bit. Helios now the one to push. Let's see. Will he get a successful rush? We got the Exiles, of course, just above him. MG and Horus moving up. Oh, down goes Helios. So the rest of the team now starting to close in. Oh, there we go. Quick thirsting. We had a quick shot coming in as well. We got Mr. Offline moving up right next door to them.
Yeah, just trying to get all those angles in. Make it as difficult as possible for the Exiles to try and get anything back. They are pushing though, and ooh, House of Anubis taking a lot of heavy damage right now. They've been punished for their earlier assault.
Well, and the hub is still there. He hasn't rotated out. He's still in the same building. He's trying to, I think, almost just taunt Storm. So let's see. Will he be able to get it? Hitting him up first with a bit of a fake there. Ooh, there we go. Sending a quick one up. Didn't see any damage, but let's see. Will Storm get this push? He is trying to move in. There we go. Simp just up ahead of him. Oh, nice.
Oh. So that's going to be Simp going back to the lobby, leaving us with 14 teams on the board. And speaking of 14 teams, all of the teams have made their way inside towards that zone. Blue zone still moving in a little bit of a distance away. The rest of the teams situated there towards the west and the northwest and the center of the zone. We still have the Exiles and the House of Anubis here in Pachinki. They have not moved, and that zone has been kind enough not to force them to move anytime soon. Meanwhile, MEA are going to be taking a fight.
Yeah, just as Baker was peeking through the window, you got one of those how you doing, hitting him straight in the face. And Ekasi, of course, now trying to drive past Odyssey here. can just see the shots flying off in all directions. Broly also getting hit now. We got Grim, Bait, and Sully still alive up ahead. Broly getting thirsted, of course. And Odyssey fairly close to gun. So we might even see the players here from Odyssey, of course, now starting to get that push in on the gun team.
Yeah, it's quite a bit of a surrounded little setup here. You can see the Dragons on the western side, Ekasi on the eastern side, Gun to the south, MEA to the north. Ekasi is going to start the shots off over towards Odyssey, and they very much are surrounded here. It doesn't matter which direction they go, there's going to be someone to spot them out and someone to try and take them down. So they're in a very difficult spot. They're going to have to take a fight with one of these teams and hopefully win if they are to be successful in trying to survive this.
Yeah. So let's see how this goes. We've got several shots, of course, now flying up from Grim's side, but as you can see just off in the distance there, the players from Odyssey, they've already rotated up. So he might still get a potential few hits in. Ooh, there we go. Cheddar getting a quick hit in on Pronto. So it seems like they've got one player left up in Pachinki. That, of course, being Storm.
Yeah, he's trying to get the res in there onto Pronto. But it's not going to be... It's not going to be. Storm gets taken down, and so Exiles win their fight in Pachinki, finally taking down House of Anubis. Leaving us with 13 teams.
Yeah, there we go. Well done, well played. So some pretty good action. And this is what I like. The action is, you know, like majority of the match is just action. And that's something that is really, really great to watch. You know, these teams just going at each other, you know, being absolutely relentless. And, you know, it not only improves the teams, but it makes for a good show as well.
Yeah.
All at the same time.
Well, we're definitely about to see a good show here, depending on what the teams down just south of Gatka decide to do. You can see we have Vibrant, we have SS, we have MEA, Dragons, Odyssey, Ekasi, Gun. So there's a lot of teams situated around this area, yeah, and that could lead to quite a number of fights and obviously a potential number of retreats as well. You see some of the teams think it's a little bit of a sticky situation, just maybe rotate out, get better positioning. So we'll see what happens, because there's quite a cluster of teams around here, and as the zone gets smaller, it will of course only be more and more difficult to move around. That zone's still making its way in, but it will eventually be there.
Yeah, we've got quite the exchange now between so Shellshock caught in that sandwich, Vibrant on the one side, MEA on the other. And shots, of course, now flying up in all directions. Vibrant getting that hit in on Cryonics. We've got Odyssey battling it out with Gun. We've got a drop coming down right there on the players from MEA. The Dragons also now getting involved here, putting a few shots over towards the outsiders who we've got just up ahead of them. So, yeah, definitely, there's no shortage of action as the teams just open fire up in all directions. And, of course, we've got... Mr. Vile here pushing up over towards that drop, quickly getting the loot going. Shellshock now trying to get a few shots in on them. In fact, there's shots going on all over the place. You can just hear them as we move across the map. So that is yeah, that is something absolutely awesome to hear.
Yeah, and so far no one has flung themselves out of a moving vehicle yet, so we're down to a good track record here.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for that explosion. I'm still waiting for that explosion.
Yeah. Our checklist for these games has become: has somebody thrown themselves out of a vehicle, and has a vehicle blown up? Yes. That's become our checklist now for every match.
Yeah, it's not an official match until that's happened.
Yeah.
Because we've seen it happen so many times.
Yeah, almost every time consistently over the past couple of games.
Yeah.
It's quite interesting. In any case, we're definitely about to see some action going off here in this big cluster of teams. Of course, like I said, as the zone gets smaller, you know, options become less and less. And if you're going to take the time to maneuver, if you want to rotate, then you have to do that very, very soon. Odyssey obviously doesn't really have that luxury, as they are in fact surrounded by all the teams. But all the rest of the teams have to decide how they want to approach it, because of course surrounding an enemy team means that there's also enemy teams opposite you as well. And you can see Shellshock there trying in that sandwich, as you were talking about, struggling a little.
Yeah, but in fact, all the teams are now starting to push up into a zone. You can see the outsiders busy with their rotation. We've got the players there from ISO also now making their way up into wood zone. Ooh, ISO and outsiders driving right next to each other. There we go, Andrew just in front of ISO number 1.
Yeah, and they're about to drive straight into Shellshock and Vibrant, so this could be an interesting little happenstance here.
Here we go. Oh, ISO not in the best spot. Drops right in the middle of all the teams here. Xenon goes down. Wow.
Yeah, that's a difficult spot to be in for sure.
And also not particularly ideal position for your vehicle to get, or from you to get flung out of your vehicle. You know. Yeah, it's definitely a tough one. But Shellshock, Outsiders, and MEA right on top of each other. We've got Vibrant now moving in as well. So, yeah, ISO right there with him as well. Ekasi now putting a few shots in towards Odyssey. And I think we've got, yeah, just 2 more players left now for Odyssey. Supreme and Vindog. The last 2 hopefuls. Let's see, will they be able to get those reses in and come back into a 4-player team? Or will we see Ekasi get the pounce on them?
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, anyone who moves in on Ekasi right now has the potential, or I mean, on Odyssey right now has the potential to be taken out by a 3rd team and potentially a 4th team after that. But you can see the fights are going all over the place. Res and the Outsiders battling it out there just next to Gutka. Quite a lot of fighting happening in that direction. Ooh, Rasta gonna fall. But what I was trying to say is that anyone who moves in on Odyssey knows that there's another team that's going to come for them after that. Yeah. So, for instance, if Ekasi moved on Odyssey now, then Gun could move in on them, and Dragons could move in on them. So it's a little bit of a chess game happening here, almost in a sense, and they have to be very, very aware of those particular movements. So they might want to, they might want to take their time with this one. Meanwhile, though, up there to the north, just to where we have Shellshocked, MEA, Res, Outsiders, and Vibrant all sitting there. It's a little bit of a different story because Res, they're getting knocked out.
Yeah, well done. The Outsiders with some beautiful play there, though, getting those hits in, and that was if you want to talk about a close call, that was most definitely one of those. We got Vibrant still on the move. They're closing in. We got Shellshock still holding their position. We got MEA still up ahead of them. So not a lot of movement or development in this area in particular, but I mean, the shots are still flying across nonetheless. The teams are still trying to get those hits in.
Yeah. Yeah, it has to be the long-range battle here for Dragons, Gun, and Ekasi. If they don't win the long-range battle, it's going to be, like I said, very difficult to move in on Odyssey right now. They're just waiting for something on the chessboard to happen. Meanwhile, that situation that we had just north of that with the rest of those teams is very interesting. You know, ISO and Outsiders moving in. Very unfortunate rotation from ISO. They just ran into a whole bunch of teams, which is unfortunately just one of those risks, you know, when you're trying to move in and the zone is behind you and you're just trying to get inside, and yeah, you know, you're just trying to find the nearest spot to hold up, and next thing you know, there's 2 teams in there, which is a very difficult spot to be in. So interesting outcome to that. You can see last player for ISO just straggling off, their Outsiders winning their fights, which was quite nice for them, which means they can sit relatively happily for the moment. Although you can see the zone, it has chosen a bit of a northern position, which is going to leave them just outside of it. So a lot of those teams are going to have to move on up, and you can see Ekasi has chosen to rotate almost immediately. They do not want to push that stalemate. They realize that it's not something they can sink a lot of time into now with the zone being very close. So Odyssey is going to have the chance to be able to move up now and out of that. So that stalemate has been broken, although Ekasi are going to be spotted out by Exiles as they drive past, and lots of damage going to go down onto them, and that's actually going to be so devastating. They're going to have to return fire. Horus going to be dropping now.
And yet again, the third parties continue. They are not out of the woods just yet. We've got a few shots now from Exist flying in over towards Ekasi. So yet again, there's a sandwich upon sandwich. You just get out of the one sandwich, you move your way right into the next one.
Yeah, well, no one's gonna go home hungry today. At least, at least we
Yes.
know that.
Yes, everyone getting their fair share of sandwiches. Oh, gun
Yeah,
moving up now.
yeah.
Up they come, putting some hits in onto the Exiles. The Exiles, of course, now retaliating, returning the favor. They're getting those shots in. Gun taking quite a bit of damage. No knocks just yet. Vehicle getting blown up. The same can't be said for the Exiles. MG, of course, getting knocked. What a hit there by Pyro. It is now up to Hidden. He is the last hope left. Let's see, will he be able to get the clutch play? Because it is just Gren upon Gren. Gun is now out for blood. Wow, that was a beautiful Gren.
Yeah, yeah, for
Ooh,
sure.
Down they go. Well done to Gun.
Yeah, there it is. All right. So that happened, but we don't have any stop to the fighting just yet because we can see Vibrant, Odyssey, and of course the Dragons there. Very, very close. Vibrant moving up on Odyssey. Roller just trying to get out the road, but of course the Dragons are right there. So Odyssey trying to take a fight with the Dragons before Vibrant can take a fight with them. Let's see who comes out on top of this one. Dragon's going to be falling. Odyssey, meanwhile, also going to be taking some hits. Oh, they managed to eliminate the Dragons in time. And now Vibrant, they have to choose their next moves carefully. Most of the teams inside that zone, they're sitting quite happily now. There's a little bit of space in between. We have 10 teams, 33 players, and that zone's about to move in and choose a nice small little space for them all to crowd into, and it's going to be there towards the east of that piece of land, and they're going to be moving up once again. Squish them all together, get some more sandwiches going.
Yes, sir. 10 teams. Man, this is going to be a super packed spot. You can just see the shots, of course, now flying across. Ekasi getting a few more hits in there, putting those shots up in towards Gun. So well shot there to Ekasi there, of course, just down to 2 players. We've got MEA now getting ready to rotate in. You can see ISO still on their last player there. We got Vibrant as well as Odyssey just up ahead over towards the west from the players of Exist. And then, of course, we got the Outsiders just in the out in the open in the field there. So let's see, will they be able to successfully make it up into a zone? We got several shots, of course, now flying in. Ooh, MEA putting a few hits in as well, taking a beautiful knock there to the players, of course, from Temper.
Yeah. I honestly thought you were going to say the Outsiders were outside of the zone. I was waiting for it, but the setup was there. Yeah, in any case, we're going to be seeing those teams start to move in. You can see a Temper just there towards the south, and actually Shellshock moving down towards the south as well. They could potentially just run straight into the face of a Temper if they don't veer off course very, very quickly. We might just be getting a couple of shots. You can hear it start ringing out. Little bit of damage there. No one's gone down though, and they do manage to make it into the zone. But they will be running very close to Ekasi as well, so the shots coming in. Let's see if the raid works. The Shellshock have to take this one because it looks like they are ready for this raid. Let's see who comes out on top of it. Shellshock making their way in. Nades going off. Ooh, so many battles happening right now. You can see all the teams just colliding into one another. Exist and Odyssey battling it out. Shellshock and Ekasi about to do the same. Oh, Vindog going down. You can just hear the nades going off and the shots flying.
Yeah, no, it is absolutely insane. The amount of shots going on at the moment, it is just crazy. It's like everyone is opening fire on everyone. It's just shots galore. Mayo now, of course, being the last one left here for Temper. Right there on Exist. Let's see, will Mayo be able to survive this? Running for zone. Oh, come on. Vibrant still battling it out. Well, Vibrant now deciding to move up towards Ekasi.
Oh.
Wow. Outsiders and Odyssey battling it out. Let's see, will Mayo get this? We got Clutch and Thick still left. And we still...
Yeah,
Shellshock is not out yet. So there's 3 teams in that compound just up ahead where we have Ekasi.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's Ekasi, Vibrant, and Shellshock all trying to battle it out in this one tiny building here. You can see
Wow.
Outsiders and Odyssey also battling it out. MEA going up against Gun. We have Temper going up against Exist, and it's just absolute chaos here. Lots of grenades going down, lots of shots ringing out. Everyone just falling left and right. They're going to have to resolve these fights soon, especially MEA and Gun and Temper and Exist, because they're going to have to move up into that zone as the blue zone is going to come and tickle their backsides. Meanwhile, Ekasi, Shellshock, and Vibrant still trying to fight it out in this house.
There we go.
You can see the smokes up, but the Shellshock going to get wiped. Oh
Wow.
my. This is just nuts.
Wow. And the Outsiders still trying to make their way in. Mayo still alive, just holding out on the edge. Just waiting to make it up in towards zone. Wow. ISO also now just sneaking up in, trying to make it safely into zone. Ekasi and Vibrant going at it yet again. Oh, down goes Bait.
Ooh. Mayo's gonna actually jump into a car and see if he can't rotate around behind everyone, but he will be taken out by some shots coming through. Exist gonna be moving up now. Outsiders, of course, in Odyssey taking fights. There's Vibrant and MEA taking shots at one another. Wipe out. MEA goes straight back to the lobby as that blue zone comes in and makes things so difficult. Gun gonna get knocked out as well. Exist trying to move in. Odyssey trying to move in. Everyone getting knocked out. Vibrant still in the game. Exist taking a lot of damage. Oh, now we are left with our final two. It's Outsiders and Vibrant, and the shots are still coming through. It hasn't stopped.
No.
Smokes are up to try and block that vision. This is just nuts. Oh. I don't even know what we're witnessing here, but it is certainly happening.
It is absolutely
See.
insane. So the Outsiders at least now back on their feet, in a sense. They got Bob and Andrew, both of them, of course, now getting read up. And Vibrant being absolutely relentless, shot after shot after shot after shot. They have ammo for days, it seems. Well, there's so many boxes there and so much ammo for them to utilize. There we go, Bob getting knocked out once again. Now everything is riding on Andrew. The smoke is starting to clear up. We've got 6 starting to rotate. He's going to come in from the side, puts the hits in. Oh, down he goes. Andrew also taking a bit of damage there, so let's see. Trying to get
just
that
gonna
kill
rush
in.
this one.
Oh. Wow.
Ah, gee whiskers.
Wow,
That was
wow,
one
wow.
of the most intense second half of a match that I have seen for quite some time. I think there was just constant fighting from the beginning of that second half all the way to the end. That was insane.
Man. Yeah, like, I don't know. So we pretty much had the whole lobby battling it out right at the end here. Vibrant just getting shot after shot. Outsiders getting shot after shot. Exist getting hits. Odyssey getting hits. Gun getting hits. ISO not getting any hits. We got MEA with shots. We got the Temper getting hits. Man, it has just been absolutely insane this last section. Wow.
Yeah.
We got Vibrant finishing their play off there on 12 kills. The Outsiders with 5 kills in second. Exist coming in with their play on 6 kills in third place. We got Odyssey finishing off with 4. We got Gun sitting on a very comfortable 7 as well. ISO, unfortunately, nothing there in 6th place. MEA finishing their play on 5 kills as well. We've got Temper finishing off theirs on 6. Ekasi getting 1. We've got the players from Shellshock on 0, the Dragons on 0, Exiles finishing off on 5. We got Res finishing their play there on 2 kills. House of Anubis finishing their play on 1. Hub going to the lobby empty-handed, as well as the players there from Spaza Gaming. So what a crazy match that has been. Absolutely insane. Wow.
Yeah, no, that was nuts, and it all started, based off of the teams rotating in and sort of where they landed up, and you saw that stalemate happening at the bottom that we were talking about. They lasted for quite some time until the zone started moving in, and then of course the fights happening up top. As soon as that zone changed and moved up, towards the northeast, all the teams started having to make their way in, and they just started sort of colliding and running into one another, and that we were left just with one giant cluster of just just non-stop fighting in every direction. So yeah, that was insane. And just well played to the teams for pushing through that one to the end. Well played to Vibrant for obviously getting that chicken. And yeah, I'm keen to go into the next one, man.
Yeah, that was yeah, wow, what a match. So if that's the start, I cannot wait for the second, third and fourth match to get underway. But without any further ado, let's get into the highlights, and then of course we'll bring you back as soon as we've got the second match ready. But yep, here we go. They've got only one more player left. Staples and Chris both getting knocked out. So let's see, will Berserk be able to make it up in towards safety? As we might see the shots. It is very open. Ooh.
Yeah, just has to sort of abandon that position. Unfortunately, it's going to put them in a very difficult spot. Berserk going to have to try and survive as much as possible, but the shot's just coming straight into the back. And that is going to mean...
So let's see. Will he be able to get it? Hitting him up first with a bit of a fake there. Ooh, there we go. Sending a quick one up. Didn't see any damage, but let's see. Will Storm get this push? He is trying to move in. There we go. Simp just up ahead of him. Oh, nice.
Oh, that's going to come for them after that.
Yeah.
So, for instance, if Ekasi moved on Odyssey now, then Gun could move in on them, and Dragons could move in on them. So it's a little bit of a chess game happening here, almost in a sense, and they have to be very, very aware of those particular movements. So they might want to, they might want to take their time with this one. Meanwhile, though, up there to the north, just to where we have Shellshock, MEA, Res, Outsiders, and Vibrant all sitting there. It's a little bit of a different story because Res, they're getting knocked out.
Yeah. Gun taking quite a bit of damage. No knocks just yet. Vehicle getting blown up. The same can't be said for the Exiles. MG, of course, getting knocked. What a hit there by Pyro. It is now up to Hedden. He is the last hope left. Let's see. Will he be able to get the clutch play? Because it is just grain upon grain. Gun is now out for blood. Wow. That was a beautiful grin.
Yeah, for sure.
Down they go. Well done to Gun. Well done to Gun.
Yeah, there it is. All right. So that happened. But we don't have any stop to the fighting just yet because we can see Vibrant, Odyssey, and of course the Dragons there. Very, very close. Vibrant moving up on Odyssey. Roller just trying to get out the road. But of course, the Dragons are right there. So Odyssey trying to take a fight with the Dragons before Vibrant can take a fight with them. Let's see who comes out on top of this one. Dragon's going to be falling. Odyssey, meanwhile, also... Grains going down, lots of shots ringing out, everyone just falling left and right. They're gonna have to resolve these fights soon, especially MEA and Gun and Temper and Exist, because they're gonna have to move up into that zone as the blue zone is gonna come and tickle their backsides. Meanwhile, Ekasi, Shellshock and Vibrant still trying to fight it out in this house.
There we go.
You can see the smokes up, but the Shellshock gonna get wiped. Oh
wow.
My. This is just nuts.
Wow.
This is just nuts.
Wow. And the Outsiders still trying to make their way in. Mayo still alive, just holding out on the edge. Just waiting to make it up in towards zone. Wow. ISO also now just sneaking up in. Trying to make it safely into zone. Ekasi and Vibrant going at it yet again. Oh, down goes Bait.
Jump into a car and see if he can't rotate around behind everyone, but he will be taken out by some shots coming through. Exist going to be moving up now. Outsiders, of course, an Odyssey taking fights. There's Vibrant and MEA taking shots at one another. Wipe out. MEA goes straight back to the lobby as that blue zone comes in and makes things so difficult. Gun going to get knocked out as well. Exist trying to move in. Odyssey trying to move in. Everyone getting knocked out. Vibrant still in the game. Exist taking a lot of damage. Oh.
Of course, not getting rid up, and Vibrant being absolutely relentless, shot after shot after shot after shot. They have ammo for days, it seems. Well, there's so many boxes there and so much ammo for them to utilize. There we go, Bob getting knocked out once again. Now everything is riding on Andrew. The smoke is starting to clear up. We've got 6 starting to rotate. He's going to come in from the side, puts the hits in. Oh, down he goes. Andrew also taking a bit of damage there. So let's see, trying to get
just
that
gonna
kill
rush
in.
this one.
Oh.
trapped inside this spell. Now I feel it, now I feel it. Your demons drag me close to hell. I can feel it.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. Right, so we are getting into our second match for the Pro Series today. What an insane match that first one has been. Absolutely crazy zones there near the end. And yeah, thank goodness for the highlights, because I mean that's not something that you'd be able to explain. It was absolutely insane.
Yeah, that is pretty much the only way to describe what we saw in game one. Some very interesting stuff, some chaos, some non-stop fighting. So that was very spicy. I'm interested to see how the teams sort of adapt now going into this match, of course. And now that we've got a little bit more space to play with, it might not be as chaotic.
Yeah, well, we'll find out. So as you can see, we've got the players there from the Dragons over in slot 2. We've got Ekasi in 3. We've got the Exiles in 4. We've got Exist in 5. Gun in 6. We've got a Hub now with a full team in 7. ISO in 8. We've got the players there from MEA in 9. Odyssey in 10. The Outsiders in 11. We've got ResHaunted in 12. You got the House of Anubis in slot 14. We also, of course, have the players there from Spaza Gaming in 15, Temper in 16, and then also Vibrant over in slot 17. And it seems like the plane kind of likes this section of the maps for today.
Yeah, it does seem that way. So of course, once again, that sort of western portion of the map going to be very far out of reach, although of course we did see the previous zone go in that direction, so maybe we'll see that happen again, who knows. But yeah, like I said, there's a lot more space on this map, so we might just see a little bit more frequent isolated fights rather than, you know, a whole bunch of clustered fights. But I could be proved wrong here. Yeah, I don't really know.
Yeah, well,
I guess we'll see.
Only time will tell, and I'm pretty sure we will find out soon enough as the first teams, of course, then start touching down. So quite a few of the teams already busy making their way out, and they're moving up in clusters, right up in towards Los Leones. So I definitely think this is once again going to be a very interesting start to the match.
Yeah. All right. So let's see if these if these teams stick around close by one another, because that is a lot of teams just chilling in Los Leones right now.
Yeah.
A lot of teams.
Yeah, from what I can see, we got
decide to try and leave.
5 of them just touching down right here, jumping up over, of course, to our friends here from the House of Anubis. They are right there on top of Hub. Oh, there we go. Got our first few shots flying. Oh, there we go. Helios gets those first hits. They got Toxic and Mad Gas, of course, now still up, running around. We've got Mr. Simp as well. Oh, there we go. Helios getting that thirst in. So first kill of the match goes to Mr. Helios. So well done, well played. And of course our lovely falling sound effects there. So we're just falling for the game at the moment. MEA getting a few hits in as well. So let's see if we can jump in wherever that action is. Oh,
yeah, that's right here in Los Leones. So there's a lot of teams right here, and well, they're definitely feeling it right now. Hub, House of Anubis, we got Vibe, we got Odyssey. Everyone's sort of here. We even have Gun off in the distance, although they are moving sort of away from that area. So yeah, we've got what, 4 teams, 5 teams here fighting it out in Los Leones and getting punched as well.
Yeah, well, that's kind of the punchline there, I guess. So let's see, we've got Odyssey over here and MEA moving up. Ooh, we might see a fight here with Mr. Thugger. He's now being surrounded by Vibrant. We got Nova right up ahead of him. There we go. Ooh, some nice parkour. So let's see, hopefully we will see some action, but the teams are of course slowly but surely starting to move out, and Helios is now getting pushed by yet another player from Hub. So he's already taken down 2 of them. He's now just waiting for the rush up the staircase. Here we go, trying to get a quick bandage in. There we go. Oh man, this is close.
Yeah. Right now, that cluster in Los Leones definitely looks like one of those spots where we could be seeing a lot of action. But one of the other spots where we could be seeing some action is, of course, up in La Cabrera, because we have the Dragons and Res up in there, so they could potentially clash it out there. The rest of the teams relatively spread out, of course, plenty of space between them. That zone has fallen all the way towards the southern portion of the map there, so still plenty of space to move down. Ooh, Hub going to be pulling that trigger onto House of Anubis, and yeah, that's going to make things difficult because they're quite spread out now. You can see Pronto and Thugger very opposite one another.
So, come on, there we go. Oh, one more hit. One more hit.
Oh, can Pronto win this one? We'll see. Oh,
yep, there we go.
There you go. Very nice stuff. Very, very nice stuff indeed. So that's going to be Hub sent back to the lobby first, as House of Anubis manages to win that one out for themselves and stick around for a bit longer.
Yeah, well, some pretty good shooting there by them. And we had, yeah, some really great work. Well done, well played. Mr. Thugger now, as you can see, just off in the distance there. MEA now also fairly spread out. And we might see the players there from Vibrant, of course, now starting to move up over towards Thugger. It's just him and Pronto left on the map. We've got these players really closing in slowly but surely. We've got Nova, Luffy, Six, and Pounds. All four of them, of course, just over here, over towards the northeast. So let's see. Maybe we'll find some more action. And, of course, now looking up at La Cabrera, we've got the Dragons and Res, as you mentioned there. But they are starting to spread out a little bit, starting to move off into different directions. So I think it kind of depends on which way the Dragons are gonna rotate, because it seems like they are mobilizing themselves, getting ready. So we'll just see now. Are they gonna push up? Which way they're gonna go?
I think they're going to rotate out here, especially considering at the moment right now what we're seeing is that that zone all the way to the south is there, but the first blue zone only comes in quite later, so it is still plenty of time to move around the map. You can see Gun, they dropped in towards Los Leones, but they've moved all the way up to Monte Nuevo. They're quite happy to sit outside there because they know they don't have to be anywhere anytime soon. That zone has yet to become a real threat, so they still have time, still plenty of space to move around, so quite happy to just sit there for the moment. The rest of the teams out towards the north, the same thing sort of applies to them. They don't really have to go anywhere if they do not want to. You know, they just once they're comfortable, once they're happy that they have what they need to make some fights happen, to take some assaults, then they can start moving up and deciding where they want to go from there. So right now the closest players that we really have are these players here in Los Leones.
Yeah.
Especially considering that they don't need to go anywhere either, because they can just stay right there. The zone is right on top of them.
Yeah. Well, we've got the blue zone on the move at least. So it's starting to close in very, very slowly. And yeah, we'll definitely see these teams up in the northern sections there, of course, now start making their way down more towards the south. And maybe we might even see a fight break out between the players there from Spaza Gaming and the team from ISO.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? We're waiting for the teams to rotate in, and of course, if all those teams up there in the north do decide to rotate downward, just straight, then yeah, they could definitely run into one another, and we could see one of those sandwiches happening once again. But yeah, we'll see if they make that decision or not, if they're able to get through. You can see Ekasi rotating down the coast towards the eastern side of the map, just making their way down the road, getting themselves in. The rest of the team's not in any hurry just yet either, so we still have pretty much everyone else left alive. 14 teams, 53 players. Everyone's still just getting themselves comfortable on the map, getting ready for the next couple of zones.
Yeah, and it definitely seems like MEA now, of course, starting to make their way down further towards the south. We got the players here from Spaza Gaming with ISO fairly close to them, well, in Miramar terms. So let's see. Will Deity be able to spot them? Get some potential shots going? Or, yeah, maybe missed that one. No idea, but it seems like ISO, of course, now being able to rotate up in towards zone very safely. And we'll see where it is that they choose to go to. We also have the players there, of course, now from Tempo moving up just past Monte Nuevo, where we've got the players from Gun also just holding up. Nos and Mayo hanging back a little bit, grabbing the vehicle, and of course now starting to move in. So we've seen a few players go down, and yeah, hopefully soon we'll see several more as the zone now starts closing in. And we got Mr. Vile up here, keeping a watchful eye there on Odyssey. Supreme now trying to outrun the bullets there, makes it into some hard cover just on time. And the remainder of MEA now, of course, moving back over towards Vile. So let's see, will Odyssey or Vile, Odyssey or MEA, not Vile, the whole MEA team, will they get those hits, or is it going to be a bit of a more one-sided kind of thing?
Yeah, we'll see soon enough. The rest of the teams rotating down, most of them getting themselves inside the zone. You can see the Dragons actually lagging behind inside that blue zone still. Outsiders, Res, Exist, and Gun outside the zone. The rest of the teams well inside. Quite happy to sit around there. Those coastal regions are actually quite unoccupied at the moment. Most of the northern side of the zone is pretty much full, so teams are going to have a difficult time if they start moving in now to try and occupy those northern zones. It's going to be very difficult.
Well, we've got Odyssey now starting their push, putting a few hits into Vile, and they of course also have a drop right there next to them, so some nice goodies there for them to utilize, and you know, give them a bit of a stronger fighting chance against the teams. And we see the players from Res now also starting to make their way in. The Dragons also slowly but surely heading in the direction there of zone. Gun also getting ready, they're busy mobilizing. And Odyssey now, of course, still tapping those hits. So Vile now managing it to get some health back into himself there. And we see another team now also closing in. Vibrant seems to be not too far away, and MEA already turning their attention off in that direction in a sense. Let's see, will Panda spot them?
Yeah, interesting to see Res and Gun actually riding side by side here, just trying to avoid one another down the side of the cliff. Gun goes as Res takes the road. So we've got some teams pretty close by trying to get out to the zone, but I think Gun has made a good decision here, moving southward to try and just rotate around them, not running to take any fights while driving in a car. So we're going to focus our attention here to the three teams just beneath Los Leones, see if they start fighting.
Yeah, well, we got Vile putting a few hits in once again. And we got another drop coming down. So let's see, will MEA be able to get this one? Seems like Vile is definitely heading up straight towards the drop. So that will definitely give him a nice advantage there, you know, having the MK in there as well, some level 3 goodies, and the ghillie suit, of course. So yeah, we got ISO, and wow, ISO and the Exiles, of course, going at it as well. Some shots flying in now. Nano goes down. We got Xenon and ISO number 1, of course, now trying to defend MG, and Sorry now getting ready to push. Up they come. We go quick res on Nano. So several teams now starting to move up in towards the same positions. You can see MEA getting those hits in on Vibrant as well. So I'm pretty sure we're going to see Odyssey in the kill feed pretty soon. Xenon getting taken down there by Cheddar. Whoa. So everything is now riding on Nano for ISO. There we go.
Yeah,
the Exiles not pushing in. So I think they're trying to redeem themselves after the previous match.
Yeah, maybe.
But that was a bit of a rough start.
A lot of teams are moving in there from the west. See the Dragons moving in there, Res and Gun as well. They've made their way inside the zone. You can see it's ISO very much isolated.
Nano taking quite a bit of damage there. Oh, there we go. Sorry, lands the final blow.
Yeah, there it is. So they get wiped. Second team back to the lobby, and there's some explosions that you're waiting for as Gun try and move up. Temper putting that trigger
Wow, pretty good shot there by Shady, and as you can see, it is quite some distance away. Wow. Well done to Shady. Beautiful shooting there.
Yeah, you can see Rez and the team over there from the outsiders quite close and clashing.
Down goes Thrax. Jess moving in, putting those shots in. You got Rasta and company, of course, now moving up on Dizzy here. Let's see, will Bob get the shot in on Dizzy, or will Dizzy get the bounce on him? Oh, down goes Dizzy. Beautiful shooting by the outsiders. So Rez now down to their last two hopefuls. We got Paul G and Psycho Wolf. Let's see. Ooh. Psycho Wolf also taking a few hits there.
Yeah, things are gonna get pretty spicy here. Oh, Dizzy gonna get hit. Lots of shots going forth. Oh,
And
we're even gonna
just
see
like
Ekasi
that,
and Vibrant
it's
go off.
over.
So, gee, Rez get knocked back to the lobby as well. And you can see MEA, Vibrant, and Ekasi still very, very close on top of one another here.
MEA just not trying to get over that rise, trying to get the angle there on Vibrant. You can see Vile also now moving up on the side there. Ooh, hit after hit. And the Exile's also getting a few shots in. Down goes Pounds. Luffy now the last hope for left. But he's rotated off, way off into the distance. Spaza Gaming also now trying to move up. We got the Exiles getting a few hits in. Ekasi getting a few hits in on Vibrant as well as MEA. There we go. Berserk landing a beautiful shot on Cheddar.
Yeah, those teams are in a little bit of a triangle here. Luffy, as you say, a bit off in the distance, bouncing between the teams. Ekasi on both sides, MEA at the top, sure to cast a net big enough to catch him. The rest of the teams, you can see the Exiles and Spaza Gaming there taking some shots towards one another. Zane is going to be dropped. See if that happens. Oh, Deity gonna get hit as
nice.
well. Oh,
Ooh.
spicy stuff then. That's going to be Spaza Gaming back to the lobby as well.
Yeah, and we got Mr. Luffy hiding up in the cave here, just trying to survive right out the storm of all the teams, of course, now in the surrounding area. Just hovering around, waiting for some action there.
Yeah, and I mean this is exactly what I said in the beginning of this match. You know, just based on what we were seeing and based on the size of the map, you know, it was inevitable that these isolated fights start happening a bit more, and we see a lot of teams getting knocked out a bit earlier. So you know, a bit less chaos than we had in the first match. You know, and we've seen that now happening. A lot of more isolated fights happening around the map here and there, and now we've got 11 teams remaining, 37 players. The zone about to get a whole lot smaller, force the teams closer together, but ultimately now is when things get a little bit more tight, and we'll see if any of those clusters happen once again, or if they'll start killing each other before they get there.
Yeah, no, I was laughing now at Panda. He was getting shot with the VSS, and you can see him just trying to figure out which way to go, where to run to, because the great thing about the VSS is like you can shoot at someone and they have absolutely no idea where the shots are coming from. There's no indication on the map. So yeah, that was a pretty good one. Just seeing the shots come in. Thought I had audio problems there for a quick second or something.
But no, it's just the VSS.
Yeah, it turns out only VSS. And Luffy, let's see, he is still just holding up here. And we got a quick rotation there from Bait now. He's flanking off. There we go, Ekasi now making their move, trying to relocate, trying to come in from a different angle.
Yeah, it could work. Could definitely work. You can see the Dragons and Gun also trying to make their way in. Dragons very much staying towards the outside. They've been keeping to the outskirts of the zone for pretty much the entire match. They have not taken any movements in towards the middle or the center of the zone. They stay all the way on the outside the whole time.
Well, I guess that is probably a strategy in itself.
Yeah.
You know, keeping yourself, in a sense, out of harm's way. But we might see a fight now, of course, break out between the Exiles and the players there from Temper, as they are getting quite close to each other. But also now the Dragons and Gun are both rotating up in towards a similar position over here in the southern side of the map.
Yeah.
Oh,
Could
here we
definitely
go.
be some chaos. Ooh.
Slim. What a legend. Shoots him right out of the vehicle. Let's see, will Nero be so lucky? Will he be able to escape? We got Blade and Dan, of course, just up ahead.
Yeah, and that is the issue with the whole slinking mindset. You know, if you're gonna slink, but then if you're gonna commit, you know, then you have to be aware that there could be someone ahead of you. And obviously they're gonna run headfirst into Gun, and that's not gonna be what they want at all. So they're gonna move their way down once again, try and rotate around, but they have lost a couple of members now just trying to play the strategy. So we'll see if it works out for them or not. Of course, they're 3 players strong now only as they make their way up. There's some teams that could be there to greet them.
Yeah, we got Gun now getting shot at by MEA. Some shots flying up. And it's going to be a bit of a crazy session in the center of the zone there. Just looking at that middle part.
Yeah.
And also here, we've got the Dragons, we've got Gun and MEA closing in. It's a nice triangle happening once again. Oh, there we go. Shots flying over towards Slim. Oh, vehicle explosion. Yay.
You've been waiting for that.
Yes, and I clipped it. Well done. Well done. Oh, there we go. Panda getting hit now by the Dragons. So you can see the whole team now, well, half of the team now just re-strategizing ever so slightly there, trying to cover some more angles. We got Nerf, of course, now moving up as well. Yikes. And Baker now on the defense here, trying to put some shots over, well, on the offensive, not the defensive, rather. Trying to put a few shots in over towards Gun. Gun, of course, now managing to get the res in on Slim. And we got Luffy still alive. He's still down there in the cave.
Yeah, he has managed to survive in that cave. Dragons passing right over him. And yeah, he still survives there as the Dragons move around to try and engage MEA. Gun on the other side as well. You can see House of Anubis there just off towards the side of Odyssey. You can see Temper and Exiles just across from one another. Outsiders just outside the new zone there, inside the red zone. Got Exist towards the east as well as Ekasi moving up as well. So we've got quite a number of teams, 11 teams still remaining here, and this is where the fights are going to happen, because now there's a lot of teams that need to fit into that tight space, and they're all mostly rotating in from the south there. So it's inevitable that they're going to be running into one another, if not in transit, then when they get to the zone itself. So this is gonna be an interesting couple of minutes.
Yeah, no, definitely. And we got the players here from Odyssey, as well as the team, of course, there from House of Anubis, fairly close over here in Los Leones. So it'd be interesting to see whether or not we're going to see a little bit of conflict between these teams. We've got Thugger and Pronto, of course, now trying to make their way up, slowly but surely heading up towards zone. We got Flacco right there on the side with Ekasi. I'm pretty sure we're going to see a few shots flying up as well as Ekasi now starts moving in. Exists also just up ahead of them. So, yep, there we go. Opens fire. Exists, puts those hits into Sully, stops him in his tracks. Quick thirsting as well. But that's something that we see a lot of at this level of gameplay is, you know, the players have come to the realization that, you know, the frags really help quite a bit when it comes to placement. And, you know, the moment they can get a knock and a thirst going, they just push all the way straight through. You know, there's no waiting for, you know, something else. The moment the opportunity arises, they grab it with both hands and, you know, just thirst everything as much as they can. Yakes, of course, now going down, and we also have Shady from Temper going down. We've got Flacco, Nos, and Mayos to the left. And then, of course, for MEA, we've got Panda, Baker, and Vile. Odyssey now slowly moving in. We've got Gun also just off in the distance. Some shots now trying to land them on Shady there. Ooh, Nos gets a hit in on Dan. So the Dragons also, of course, now moving in. Ekasi right behind the Dragons. So this is going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, once again, we have a potential sandwich brewing here as Odyssey moving up MEA just in front of them. Of course, Gun right behind Odyssey. We have Temper right in front of MEA and the Dragons off to the side and Exist just above them. So there's a lot of potential fighting here. You can see Temper taking some damage from MEA as they put some shots through. But Odyssey is soon to come in on their tail, perhaps. We could see a lot of fighting that's about to happen, depending on how the teams move around. Dragons just trying to skirt around the edges once again, but Temper won't have it, taking down Dan as they try and move around. Mayo going to get hit by MEA. So things are getting quite spicy. Temper have to make a decision on what they want to do, and they're trying to move up. Meanwhile, House of Anubis is going to be assaulting Vibrant.
Yeah, there goes Luffy, the last remaining player. Oh, the Dragons. Oh, Panda also getting a beautiful hit in there. But so this, you said this is a sandwich. This to me honestly looks more like a Dagwood than it does a sandwich.
Yeah.
Because it's just layer upon layer upon layer of players. Ooh.
It's just a big Dagwood sandwich, and there is Mayo going down from MEA's assaults. They try and move towards the Dragons. They're getting hit from behind, but as MEA do that, they're getting hit from behind too as Odyssey come up behind them. So this is just a behind from a behind, I guess you could say, situation right now. Odyssey moving up there. MEA have to deal with this threat before they can pursue Temper. That leaves Temper open to pursue the Dragons if they so choose. Vindar going to be taking some shots.
And it's not riding on Bacon now.
This one. Yeah.
Odyssey out for blood. They are hungry, thirsty. I wouldn't expect anything less on Miramar, seeing it's such a dry place. But let's see.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, Baker's just here in such a position. He's going to get rushed and taken out. And this is exactly what you were talking about here. You know, Odyssey saw the opportunity. They got some hits and they just pushed it all the way. Got all of those frags and just cleaned up MEA and sent them back to the lobby there.
We got Temper, of course, now sitting themselves up nicely on the ridge there. And we got a few more shots now right between the House of Anubis as they're just trying to rotate out from gun. And we got the Exiles also just picking off a few shots. The Outsiders, of course, now up on the ridge. Pretty good vantage point, putting a few hits in over towards Ekasi. Ekasi now trying to find a good way to make their way in, get onto the higher ground. And our poor friend Blade there from Dragons might very well run in to Exist all by his lonesome. He's got his teammate, of course, off on the side. And Blue Zone is coming in, so these teams now really have to move. They don't have much of a choice.
Odyssey moves up right next to Exiles and Temper. And Exiles with such a good vantage point of taking shots at literally everyone. You could see Gun off to the distance there. They were getting hit as well. But now that Odyssey is so close, that is a threat that needs to be addressed. I don't think Temper want to take that fight. I think they're just going to push straight past. But the Dragons as well, putting in some work there towards the east as that Blue Zone moves in. Everyone having to cluster up once again as they try and make their way to safety. Oh.
And Blade just ripping it up. Wow. Oh!
It's a very difficult spot to be in. Oh.
Blue Zone comes to the rescue.
Yeah. And ultimately the shots come through. Still some time, but the space is not there. There's 8 teams, there's 23 players. That space is minuscule, and the shots are ringing forth between Temper, Odyssey, Exile, Gun. Everyone is here down towards the south, just clustered up along the ridges. Smokes are coming through to try and mask the movements as the Temper try and make their way up. Exist will be there. Ekasi and Outsiders just there towards the north. So we'll see how these fights start to pan out.
Now we got our friend here, Mr. Thugger, of course. Now he's starting to move in slowly but surely. Coming in right behind Gun. Oh, let's see how far he'll make it. Will he be able to survive long enough to get into a good spot? The Outsiders, of course, now putting several shots in. Ekasi and Exist also battling it out. Oh.
You can just hear those shots ringing forth. Ekasi opening up on Exist. Exiles open up on Odyssey. Lots of shots going through. The Outsiders sitting on top of that hill. going to be quite happy with that advantage. Try and push over towards one of the other teams. Temper moving up just below them on the rocks. Ekasi and Exist also taking some shots. Exist going to get wiped out as Ekasi move up. You can see Odyssey inside the compound here. Exiles and Gun very, very close. Gun might try and move up on them, or the Exiles will move in, but the Blue Zone will move in inevitably. In any case, that's going to be difficult. Ekasi taking some hits. Nas going to be doing so much work.
We got Broly. He's on the outside in the Blue Zone. He is not very likely to survive very long. We've got the Outsiders, of course, now moving up on the Temper team. We've got, the Exiles putting the hits into Gun. Gun down to their last player, Slim. Now trying to make a successful run into some hard cover. Temper, of course, taking a few hits there as well. We are down to our final 6. Ooh, Cheddar, the last hope left for the Exiles. The Outsiders still on a pretty much full squad there, as you can see. Jesse, of course, just getting knocked out by Supreme now. Down he goes now in turn. So Flacco and Shady holding up there for Temper. Gun rotating up, moving in towards zone. Cheddar, the Lone Ranger, takes out Gun.
Well played, well played. 4 teams remaining with the shots still coming through. Temper is stuck between a rock and a hard place here. Odyssey on the one side, Outsiders on top of the rock. And, Outsiders have a really great position here. Let's see if Flacco can actually move up and try and get some sort of hits in. You can see Exile all bundled up there just towards the outside portion of that zone, waiting for something to happen. We'll see if Temper can survive this one. Odyssey also sitting on a pretty good squad at the moment. They're going to have a pretty good chance here, but some of the shots coming out from Shady going to make it difficult. Odyssey losing a player as they try and get the reses in, and that's not going to be an easy spot to be in. They're going to have to get those reses in quick and try and make their way to safety. Meanwhile, Exile starting the assault on towards the Outsiders.
Oh, there we go. So Odyssey just taking hit after hit after hit, but the Outsiders losing a little bit of control on their current position, as the zone, of course, now forces the players up. Andrew and Flacco now just rushing each other. Down goes Flacco. It's up to Shady. He's, of course, now still holding up in his compound. Hasn't dared to move up yet. Blue Zone forces him out, running, of course, straight up over towards the Outsiders. Odyssey now trying to make their run in towards zone. Exile's taking a few hits. The Outsiders putting in those shots from up on the hill. Jesse and Andrew managing to hold on to a pretty good spot there. Exiles, of course, once again down to 1 player. Sorry, now we're trying to get that res in on Cheddar. We got Shady, of course, now holding up just below the Outsiders there. So Rasta manages to get that res in. I'm pretty sure MG is going to go down. Bob might move in to get that hit. Yeah, we will see. But meanwhile, the Outsiders going to take some hits. That is well played. Exiles get sent back to the lobby, and now it's just Shady who is alone and very much outnumbered. Andrew right on top of him. Jesse about to rotate in. The rest, the Outsiders moving in with intent to kill, and kill they will, easily wiping out Jesse. GG, well played. Yeah, beautiful work. So there we go. The Outsiders landing themselves with the chicken dinner there. 9 kills. We got the players from Temper, of course, finishing their play off there on 7 kills. The Exiles coming in, finishing off on 8 kills. We got Odyssey finishing up with 5. We got Gun sitting on 3 kills. Ekasi with 3 as well. We got Exist on 2 kills. We got the players there from the house of Anubis finishing off their play on 5. The Dragons on 2. MEA finishing on 4. Vibrant going home empty-handed. We've got Spaza Gaming going out with 1. Resurrection also, Resurrection and ISO, both teams, of course, also going back empty-handed. And then, of course, Mad Gas there for Hub, managing to get that 1 kill in. So what a match, what a round. Once again, some crazy action in these final few zones. It's insane. I love it. I love it. And we had a vehicle explosion.
Yeah, that's great.
We had a vehicle explosion.
Yeah, so you're going to be pretty happy with that one.
Loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it. But yeah, some crazy action there. So yeah, without any further ado, I think we're going to try and, of course, move up. We need to catch up on some little time here. That made no sense, but whatever. You understand what I mean? Yeah. Grammar is not my thing today, but whatever. Let's just continue on. So we're going to get into the highlights, and we'll bring you guys back when we get into our 3rd match. So stay tuned. We'll be back shortly. Here we go.
House of Anubis. And yeah, that's going to make things difficult because they're quite spread out. Now you can see Pronto and Thugger very opposite one another. So,
oh, come on, come on. There we go. Oh, one more hit. Ooh. One more hit.
Oh, can Pronto win this one? We'll see.
Yep. Yep, there we go. There we go.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
But that was a bit of a rough start.
A lot of teams are moving in there from the west. See the Dragons moving in their res and gun as well. They've made their way inside the zone. You can see it's ISO very much isolated.
Nano taking quite a bit of damage there. Oh, there we go. Sorry, lands the final blow. The outsiders. So Rez now down to their last two hopefuls. We got Paul G and Psycho Wolf. Let's see. Ooh. Psycho Wolf also taking a few hits there.
Yeah, things are gonna get pretty spicy here. Oh, Dizzy gonna get hit. Lots of shots going forth. Oh, and we're even gonna see like Ekasi and Vibrant go off. Off in the distance, bouncing between the teams. Ekasi on both sides, MEA at the top, sure to cast a net big enough to catch him. The rest of the teams, you can see the Exiles and Spaza Gaming there taking some shots towards one another. Zane is going to be dropped. Let's see if that happens. Oh, Deity gonna get hit as well. Oh. There's some teams that could be there to greet them.
Yeah, we got Gun now getting shot at by MEA. Some shots flying up. And it's going to be a bit of a crazy session in the center of the zone there. Just looking at that middle part.
Yeah.
And also here we've got the Dragons, we've got Gun and MEA closing in. It's a nice triangle happening once again. Oh, there we go. Shots flying over towards Slim. Oh, vehicle explosion.
That leaves Tempo open to pursue the Dragons if they so choose. Vindar going to be taking some shots.
And it's not riding on Bacon now.
This one. Yeah, yeah.
Odyssey out for blood. They are hungry, thirsty. I wouldn't expect anything less on Miramar, seeing it's such a dry place. But let's see.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Oh, Baker's just here in such a position. He's going to get rushed and taken out.
But the outsiders, of course, now putting several shots in. Ekasi and Exist also battling it out. Oh.
You can just hear those shots ringing forth. Ekasi opening up on Exist. Exiles open up on Odyssey. Lots of shots going through. The outsiders sitting on top of that hill. Going to be quite happy with that advantage. Try and push over towards one of the other teams. Temper moving up just below them on the rocks. Ekasi and Exist also taking some shots. Exist going to get...
Trying to make a successful run into some hard cover. Temper, of course, taking a few hits there as well. We are down to our final 6. Ooh, Cheddar, the last hope left for the Exiles. The outsiders still on a pretty much full squad there, as you can see. Jesse, of course, just getting knocked out by Supreme now. Down he goes now in turn. So Flacco and Shady holding up there for Temper. Gun rotating up, moving in towards zone. Cheddar, the Lone Ranger, takes out Gun up on the hill. Jesse and Andrew managing to hold on to a pretty good spot there. The Exiles, of course, once again down to one player. Sorry, now we keep trying to get that res in on Cheddar. We got Shady, of course, now holding up just below the outsiders there. So Rasta manages to get that res in. I'm pretty sure MG is going to go down. Bob might move in to get that hit.
Yeah, we will see. But meanwhile, the outsiders going to take some hits.
Get that res in. I'm pretty sure MG is going to go down. Bob might move in to get that hit.
Yeah, we will see. But meanwhile, the outsiders going to take some hits. That is well played. Exiles get sent back to the lobby. And now it's just Shady, who is alone and very much outnumbered. Andrew right on top of him. Jesse about to rotate in. The rest, the outsiders moving in with intent to kill, and kill they will, easily wiping out Jen.
ties, no ties, no shares, and I'm here.
Some form of control still, making our constant binary choices and voicing our equally shallow opinions more loudly or quietly. Most people can't even decide what color to wear or which burger to eat. What does it matter, man? Autonomy is an illusion. Autonomy is an illusion. Autonomy is an illusion. Most people can't even decide what color to wear or which burger to eat. What the does it matter, man? Autonomy is an illusion. Autonomy is an illusion.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. All right, so we're getting ready for our third match. This one, of course, being on the Miramar map once again. So, yeah, we've had some crazy action in the previous 2 rounds. Now we are looking forward to getting into the third one. And, Patchy, hopefully this one is going to be an absolutely insane one once again.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it will be. We've been seeing some spicy stuff so far, and I don't think that's going to be dropping off anytime soon. Of course, now the players will be a little bit more warmed up on the map, so they'll be making a little bit more, how do I say, maybe a bit more concise decisions, perhaps. Yeah. So we might be seeing something different happen, or we could be seeing some similar stuff happen. You know, in the previous map, we did see a couple of those isolated fights happening around as I sort of predicted. But at the end there, towards the end, of course, all those teams being pushed in, surviving for so long means that there were just tons of teams taking a lot of fights. And yeah, that seems to be a trend. So let's see if that continues. We'll see if those isolated fights happen once again, and then we'll see if we get those clusters heading into the final zones.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, we have all our teams here once again. We got the Dragons in slot 2, Ekasi in 3, we got the Exiles in 4, we got Exist in 5, Gun in slot 6, we got Hub in 7, MEA in 9, we got Odyssey in 10, the Outsiders in 11, we got ResHaunted in 12, we got Shellshock in slot 13, the House of Anubis in 14, the players there, of course, from Spaza Gaming in 15, we got Temper in 16, and Vibrant in 17, and a complete change up on the flight path.
Yeah, well, this time around we've got the flight path on the opposite side of the map as the previous round, going all the way from the northwest down towards the south. Means all those hotspots going to be droppable. Of course, the sort of northeastern portion of the map is going to be quite far away, but like we've been seeing, you know, that zone can drop pretty much wherever, so teams got to be on their toes, making sure they can rotate whenever they are needed to. Although we did see a lot of the teams playing that sort of first and second zone very, very slowly, you know, because obviously it moves in very, very slowly and it doesn't do as much damage. So you can dance around in the first 2 zones, you know, pretty comfortably out towards the outside, which we did see the Dragons doing, I believe it was, in the previous game, you know, just sort of staying on the outside there, trying to take their time. But who's not taking their time is Gun. They open their guns up on towards MEA.
Yeah, no, they waste no time. Get those shots in already. Baker going down. We got Panda now getting pushed. Risk moving up, taking him down. We got Vile and Yakes left. Oh, there we go. Baker getting thirsted by Pyro from atop the hill. Puts his Winchester to some good use. And now, of course, we got Vile and Yakes both getting shot at. Yakes getting taken out of the vehicle. So Vile, the next hope. Or the last hope. Let's see, will he be able to make it? He is now, of course, trying to escape. Just trying to push off into the distance there. And it seems like he's able to get that escape going.
Yeah.
But we've, of course, now at the same time, we've got Odyssey and the players, you know, they're from Vibrant Gaming, also fairly close, again, in Miramar terms, over in Los Leones. So, yeah. We're seeing quite a few teams fairly close. I mean, Ekasi and Outsiders also not too far apart. No one in the northeastern side of the map, though. Everyone just down here, very close to the flight path. And hopefully, well, maybe, I don't know, I wouldn't say hopefully, but maybe we might see some of the teams even maybe try and rotate up into that portion of the zone, seeing that, you know, our zone has shifted all the way over to that side in any case.
Yeah, I mean, some of those teams do like taking a bit of a trip, you know, into those sort of undropped parts of the region. You know, obviously, if the zone is going to be on that side, like you said, it does make sense. You could potentially, if you were, say, Dragons or Outsiders or even Exist, you could easily rotate there up into the northeastern portion of that map. Go looting, find what you can find, see what you can see before making your way down. You know, there is time to do that.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be too much of a crazy thing to happen. But right now, like you said, yeah, a lot of teams sitting relatively close. We'll see if they decide to take a bit of an adventure or if they rather go for the fights. Hopefully, we'll see them going for a little bit of fights. Unfortunately, MEA took a lot of damage there with that first drop, so they're going to be straggling along. Vile just trying to survive on his lonesome. We'll see how far he gets. But we can see Hub moving up relatively close to Gun, which could result in a bit of a fight.
Yeah, and that's not even close in Mermot terms. They are very close, though. We got Slim and Risk. Pretty sure that they can hear those vehicles. Yep, just looking at their movement here. They're moving up, right up towards Simp. Putting those shots in, can hear the M16 and the UMP just going ham on the players there. So we got Queen and Mad Gas, of course, now rather getting in their vehicle, deciding maybe this is not the best place for us to be. But that,
Yeah.
but those few moments in the beginning when you're trying to get, you know, underway, get out, that's actually your most vulnerable few moments there. You know, as the vehicle hasn't picked up speed just yet. And yeah, you can see the vehicle just off in the distance there for the Hub players, of course, being quite lit up. And we got MEA, of course, now also just off in the distance here. Mad Gas and Queen heading up. We got Mr. Simp changing up into a new vehicle. Exciting, the one that he had, the one with the smoke coming out of the bonnet wasn't particularly ideal, you know, for this part of the match.
Yeah, I mean, as much as you like to see those cars getting blown up, you know, when you're a player, you don't really want that to happen. That's not exactly the most ideal situation ever. So yeah, you just gotta switch up your cars a little bit, make sure you're somewhat safe. But yeah, ultimately right now the team's playing a lot more of a slower, patient game. No one's really dropped on top of each other aside from, of course, Gun and MEA. Everyone's just getting themselves looted up and ready, kitted out for the next couple of zones. And we'll see how they decided to approach their fights. Of course, could potentially just rotate in or inside the zone if they decide to move that way. You can see Outsiders moving just towards that north portion of the zone, and Dragons in La Cabrera just up there chilling, but exist towards the side. Temper just south of them. We got Vile from MEA just chilling in the house there by his lonesome. We got Gun, of course, where they dropped just below that. Hub just to the side, making their way up the road. We've got Ekasi just below them, also going on a bit of a scouting mission towards the Exiles, who are there in Picado. Might just spot Sully out. We have what is it? HOA.
You know, the House of Anubis.
I've actually been wondering about that name. It's of Anubis, right? But that you have to read it backwards then, right?
Yes.
So are their names also backwards?
I don't
That's
know.
not Pronto, it's Otnorp.
I'll leave that to you. Because we got, so we're going up here to Mr. Soile. We got Mr. Mrots.
Yeah, I mean...
Odnorp, yes.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Because, I mean, if you're going to read your tag backwards, then everything needs to be backwards. Otherwise, it's just confusing.
Or it could be House of Anubis.
Or Anubis of House.
Yes. That makes a little bit more sense, maybe. You know, the house of Anubis. It's like hummus.
If you say so. If you say so.
Let's see. So MEA now making, well, Vile, the Lone Ranger, he's now trying to rotate up in towards zone. Just creeping up little bit by little bit, compound by compound. Nothing major, no extravagant moves, you know. But we've got Temper fairly close to him. So let's see, will Temper move up in the same direction, or will they continue down the road? It seems like they're making just a quick little pit stop there. Yeah, no, they're definitely on their way up in towards zone. So no fight there just yet. But we might see Temper and Gun now heading up towards Ekasi side. And we also got the players here from Resurrection and Odyssey also getting quite close together.
Yeah, we'll see if they clash anytime soon. Right now, we've got a lot more of a slow start than previously. So obviously, a lot of these teams don't want to get knocked out early. And of course, that just seeing MEA getting knocked so quickly down to one player. A lot of the teams may be a little bit hesitant to try anything crazy at the moment until they see a really big opening. But well, this little cluster could be as Temper moves up past Reverb. Ekasi and Gun also very close, so this could be a potential start to the fight.
Yeah, well, Temper pushes up right in towards Reverb. Let's see how far he's gonna get. We got the remainder of Ekasi, of course, now moving up to his position as well, trying to bring in some reinforcements. Reverb goes down. Let's see, will they continue with their onslaught? Good, Mr. Aries, of course, taking a bit of a beating there as well. Sully still off in the distance. Gun also trying to get a few hits in.
Yeah. Gun could definitely capitalize off the fight here between Temper and Ekasi. If that continues, we'll see if it does. Ekasi might just want to take the fight to try and get the res in. Definitely might want to commit to this one, but Temper is going to be doing some thirsting there. Take out Reverb, leaving 3 Ekasi players, and maybe Ekasi might just want to leave this one alone. We'll see. Sully rotating around the back, could be coming in for a bit of a flank. Let's see if they spot him out.
Well, we got Flacco pushing up. Ekasi getting ready. I don't know if they maybe just trying to try and lure them out to come have a look. Seeing that they do have Sari up on the ridge. So that's a pretty good position. If he can play that well, he might be able to get a few hits in. But also now that gives the 2 players here, Brody and Aries, the opportunity to start moving up while he's distracting them.
Yeah.
But you can only go so far before they spot, the move. And yeah, well, Brody manages to make it up in towards safety. Seems like Sully is following suit.
Yeah.
And off they
They're
go.
just going to get themselves out of there. No need to take that fight, especially once Reverb gets taken down. There's no reason to press the attack, so they're going to leave. Just going to rotate themselves out. Now, Impicado is still exiled, so they could still run into there if Ekasi does decide to settle down there. Otherwise, everyone pretty much sitting happily inside the zone. You can see the outsiders just making their way in from the outside, and Simp, he is very much all the way very, very far outside, but the rest of Hub in a completely different spot, so they got separated at some point. Probably want to group up a little bit there, especially considering Vile and the Dragons are in between him and the rest of the team. Hub is sort of moving around on their own though, moving down towards Temper or Ekasi.
Well, they might be pushing up towards maybe the Temper side. Let's have a look see. Maybe. I mean, they at the moment they're right in between the 2 teams. We've got Gun, of course. They've rotated up all the way over towards the Res team. We got Vibrant now slowly but surely making their way in from towards the north. We got the Outsiders just coming in from the northern side of zone. And Vile playing the solo match. So let's see how this goes. Hub choosing a bit of a strange spot there to stop, but I mean, it's probably within reason.
Yeah, well, now we're going to be seeing something very interesting because of the fact that we still have 15 teams and 55 players left. All these teams trying to move into the new zone, which is here towards the northwestern portion of the available area. You can see there's a lot of teams towards the west there. We've got Dragons, we've got Temper moving up on them, we've got Exiles there, we've got Hub, we've got Ekasi, Gun and Res towards the southern portion of that side as well. So there's a lot of teams that could potentially clash right now as they try and move in towards the zone. This could get spicy real quick.
Yeah. Well, we've got Res on the move, we've got Gun on the move. We got Thrax, he seems to be chasing them ever so slightly. But one of the Gun players there, of course, we keep getting out of the vehicle, readying himself. Yes, there we go, putting a few shots in towards Thrax. The vehicle taking quite a bit of damage there. There we go, so well done there to Pyro. Forcing him to kind of stop dead in his tracks.
Yeah, now we're just waiting to see the teams resolving themselves, trying to get their way in. You can see Gun just sort of wangling their way, trying to get through their Exiles right at the top. They're trying to get their hits in, maybe, or get their moves in, sorry, towards the inside of the zone, because obviously nobody really wants to be on the outskirt portions of the zone, because that's where theoretically everyone is already. So you're trying to get into that unused space. Up, of course, towards Junkyard is probably the best bet. No one's there just yet. The rest of the team's trying to move their way in. You can see Odyssey moving in, Vibrant moving in, Res, Gun, Exiles moving in. You can see the House of Anubis moving in as well. Temper just inside the zone, Outsiders towards the north. And Shellshock all the way over in Impala, quite happily sitting alone. But for how much longer is the question? We'll see. We will see.
Well, we got the House of Anubis now getting hit by Ekasi as they move in. Pronto putting a quick few shots in over towards, well, getting shot rather. Broly getting knocked down as well. Now let's see. Will the House of Anubis start moving up? Vibrant getting a few hits in there on Riz. So let's see. Suli quickly trying to get that Res going. We got Reverb, of course, getting taken out a little while earlier. So Aries now the lone. Well, not anymore. I don't know what I was going for there, but he's there. He's trying to keep an eye. Ooh, chucks a molly. Is he gonna make it? Wow, quite some distance on that molly. Lands just on the opposite side. But of course now Storm manages to flank up all the way around.
Yeah. Yeah, Gun and Rez going to be battling it out as well. Exile's just above them. Ooh, that's going to be Rez getting knocked heavily. And I think that is going to be our first team back in the lobby. Yes, it is Rez, first team back. But the fight's still continuing. The Exiles are there with the Dragons. Gun just behind them. Ekasi still taking this fight against House of Anubis. Ooh, brilliant. Brilliant, Gren. Over towards Ekasi, you're going to be knocking them straight out of existence. That's the second team back in the lobby already, and the fights are looking to continue here. You can see Vibrant right behind Gun, who's right behind Exiles, who are right behind the Dragons.
Yep, now they are lining up. Hopefully, they are lining up for some action. You got Dan, of course, now still bleeding out. Shek now trying to move up, trying to get that res in. The Exiles, of course, keeping a watchful eye on them. Shek trying to get some good cover in place, as well as a fairly quick escape route.
Yeah, they might certainly want to do that. Obviously, you don't have to take fights. Obviously, that is the, you know, if you, we have been talking a lot about sort of pushing your advantage and taking the fights. But ultimately, if you're in a situation where you can see you have the definite disadvantage and you don't need to take the fight, then you don't have to do it. You know, if you can escape, then do so. You know, reposition, put yourself in a better spot to take the fight. You know, ultimately not saying not to take the fight, but if you retreat, you put yourself in a better position to take a fight later. You know, so ultimately it's all about still taking the fight at some stage, but putting yourself in the best position that you can to do so.
Yeah,
obviously you want those frags, you want those placement points, and doing both is sort of the name of the game. All right, so we've got a lot of teams up here around Los Leones and La Bendita, sort of just snaking their way around. It's Hub, we've got House of Anubis, we've got Temper, we've got Dragons, Exiles, Gun, we've even got SG, we've got Vibrant, we've got Odyssey, and then, of course, all the way to the side, we've got Shellshock. So they're making a nice little snake here across the map that could result in some interesting fights given the given time. Now, of course, that blue zone is moving in, which will push the zone in even more close, and we have Gun already getting hit.
Yeah, no, Spaza Gaming not wasting any time now. Turning the tables a little bit on Gun there. So let's see, will they continue? Will they get some more hits? We got Risk, Nerf, and Pyro, of course, still alive and still able to fight. And we've seen some amazing things. So yeah, this is far from over. Yeah.
No, we still got 13 teams, 46 players, and I mean this new zone now very, very small, at least in terms of Miramar standards. So all these teams are going to have to be moving their way in, and well, that could definitely cause some toss-ups. We can see Temper moving in here towards the Dragons, trying to make their way in. Exiles just off to the side. see if they start fighting as they try and move up. There's definitely going to be a lot of bunching as they move up. The shots ringing forth. It's going to be Hub taking the first bit of damage.
Here we go. So some pretty good shooting. Ooh, Gun now getting hit as they trying to rotate in. Hub not looking too great. Simp, of course, now being the last one left. We got Temper also now pushing up. They're moving in on the Dragons. The Dragons right up ahead of them. Shots flying over towards Nero. Manages to move his vehicle just over the ledge and make a hopeful safe escape. But Gun now getting hit by Odyssey.
Yeah, all these teams so close together is going to make it very difficult. Risks going to be falling there. We've got the Exiles right next to the Dragons, right next to Temper, right next to Gun, right next to Odyssey. There's a lot of teams here, and they could definitely end each other if they don't play it smart. They're going to have to somehow just worm their way into this one, play it as safe as possible, make sure they get cover before they start taking hits, making sure they get inside that zone. Speaking of, zone going to be doing some of that damage over towards Hub. Going to make things difficult for them as House of Anubis continue the pressure up before they start their rotations off towards zone as well.
Yeah, and we got the Exiles
Shellshock
now.
have been sitting in Impala the whole time. They have not moved.
Wow. Well, we've got the Exiles now busy moving up on Gun here. Up they come, rushing the building. Let's see, will Pyro be able to get a few shots in? We got some shots coming in. Smokes. Oh, nice grain on Pyro there. The Dragons also now just pushing themselves off over towards the northwest there. Some nice vantage point, and they might even be able to get a few third-party shots in.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it's all about. You can see even Temper moving up there. Shady heading that charge is coming right up on towards the Dragons, who were having their guns train in a different direction, but now they have to take other fights. You can see Exiles and Gun right here. Temper and Dragons as well trying to take the shots. Shek going to be suffering. Temper really catching them off. Things definitely going to get tight here. We also have Exist moving in there towards Vibrant. We've got SG moving up as well. You can see lots of teams quite close together. Exiles still trying to take a fight against Gun. It's going to be difficult to keep track of the fights that will break out inevitably soon.
The Temper getting hit there by the House of Anubis. Wow, loads of action on the map.
Yeah.
Ooh. Temper getting losing a few players there. You see the Nox coming in. Ooh, Nox getting hit as well now by the Dragons. So we only got Flacco and Mayo left. The Exiles, of course, now still trying to breach here, where we've got the players from Gun. Ooh.
Yeah, everyone's playing so well. It's so difficult to crack open the defense, but they will try their absolute best. Player's going to fall. Pyro will go out. Nerf going to get dropped as well. You can see Nero going down for Temper there as they continue their assault towards the Dragons. So the Exiles will win their fight against Gun successfully. Temper still trying to push, and Dragons fighting back. And of course, that new zone towards the northeast is going to mean that all these teams that have now clustered up here are going to have to move in and cluster once again. We have 12 teams. We have 39 players still here. And what is definitely promising to be some more fights going forward. Now, Exiles can make their way out quite easily. Nice and free to do so. House of Anubis is going to be doing the same. Odyssey moving up. Exist, Vibrant doing the same. SG doing the same. But Temper still pushing their luck against the Dragons. Dan going to be putting some hits in. Temper not looking too good. Mayor going to get taken out. Now, the rest of the Temper squad there looking in to be a little bit of a spot. Trying to fight this one out. They're going to have to resolve this fight quickly because that blue zone will move in very, very swiftly. And it will do some considerable damage once it hits.
And they've got quite some distance to cover. I mean, they're 600 meters away from zone. A lot can happen. Exist.
Oh.
Did he fall? Did he get flung? Oh,
I
he
have
jumped.
no idea,
He
but
jumped, and the cheddar took them down. There we go. Oh, nice. House of Anubis getting a few hits in there as well on the players there from Odyssey. There we go. So we've got the Dragons, of course, now trying to move in on Temper here, trying to find that angle. You can see Nero just off in the distance. Will they spot Nos and Flacco as they're trying to move out? Blue zone is on its way.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult now. Especially to move across all that distance. The Dragons and Temper both have to outrun this while still being aware of one another. That's such a difficult fight to fight, and it's going to make things difficult. Meanwhile, House of Anubis is going to get blown up by Odyssey. Shots going back and forth as Exiles and Exist also taking a couple of shots amongst one another as they all try and move in towards the zone. You can see SG just behind House of Anubis as they take the fight towards Odyssey. Some great grins going back and forth.
Yeah, House of Anubis on their last little bit, and down they go.
Yeah, out they go now. SG moving up behind them as Temper also trying to make their way up. Everyone just trying to make their way into safety, but it's going to be so difficult. Temper driving straight past the Exiles. Lots of shots going through. Odyssey also getting assaulted now. Outsiders shooting over towards the Dragons as they move up. Dragons going to be taken out. Exist not having a good time either. Temper not going to be able to stick around for much longer either. As the Exiles finish them off and continue their shots over towards the players from Exist, who are not having a good time, struggling there in the zone, trying to make their way up. Dragons doing the same. The Outsiders not in such a great spot. Oh, the rest of their victims, Exiles, taking a couple of shots over there from SG, who are also fighting against Odyssey. Vibrant doing the same. Lots of fighting just outside of the zone as they all fight for that free real estate in towards the zone. See if they can make it. Shellshock just happily inside the zone. They haven't taken fights against anyone. They're just sitting there quite comfortably. No one's there, and they're in zone. They're quite happy with that. Meanwhile, the Exiles taking some shots over towards Exist, but it is going to be some shots that are found. They are going to be taken down. SG moving up on the players there from Odyssey, also going to be wiping those out.
Beautiful move there by Deity, though. Running, jumping off the balcony to get that angle. Yeah, beautiful work. Beautifully done. And yeah, the players here from Shellshock might get a nice little visit there from the Outsiders as they now start moving up. And then we also have Vibrant just rotating in as well. Nova and Six now, some shots flying up. Oh, vehicle gets blown up. No one in the vehicle, so that one doesn't count. Let's see. Let's see the whole of Vibrant and now rotating in. Shellshock, of course, now preset and cage there, focusing their attention over towards the Outsiders. And then we've got Cryonics and Tolu now, of course, focusing on the other side. Ooh, Jess taking a bit of damage. I think that is kind of the preset there as they now try and move in. You can see the Exiles also moving off in the distance. And yeah, the players there from Spaza Gaming, we also just had them over towards the southwest. Ooh. We got some more shots.
Yeah, the Dragons trying to make their way in, fall right into the trap. The Exiles just springing that one, easily knocking them out. Getting some shots over towards MEA as they try and make their way around. Vile surviving so long, well played, but I don't know how long he has left by himself. Trying to just zoom in there with the vehicle, trying to get past everyone. But SG going to be taking shots as well. Exile going to be taking shots towards outside. Vile in a very difficult spot to be in, but SG still putting those hits in. Vile finally going to go down. He gets found. Everyone just trying to move in. Outsiders moving up towards Shellshock, who are finally taking a fight. Exile just getting absolutely nailed from the other side. Things not looking so easy right now. Things very, very tight.
Yeah, no, this is definitely a tough one. And we got the Outsiders still battling it out with the players there from Shellshock, of course. We got the Exiles now quickly trying to tend to the window. We got 5 teams there. We can pretty much see everyone on the map at the moment. Loads of crossfire between Shellshock and the Outsiders. Vibrant, of course, the only team managing to move up in towards zone. And we, of course, now have the players here from Spaza Gaming. They're getting ready to move in, putting a few hits over towards the players there from the Exiles. MG now, it's his turn to try and get the res in. Blue zone moving up in 20 seconds time. Deity now, of course, rushing over, trying to see if he can get that thirst going. The outside is still putting a few shots over towards Shellshock, and Vibrant sitting fairly comfortable, what seems to be in zone. You can see Nova just comfortably perched. Oh, there we go. Now MG gets taken down. Cheddar now has to get the res in. Pretty sure the meds are going to start running out. The players there from Shellshock getting hit as well now. Cage going down. We've got Andrew and Jesse. In fact, all the players now need to start making their move up. The Exiles getting caught out in the blue zone. So this is now definitely the point where the game is going to start turning around. Spaza Gaming getting hit as well just as they rotate up. Deity now getting shot from behind. Down he goes. So Pounds putting a beautiful shot into him there. Cheddar trying to out-heal the zone. Several shots, of course, now coming in. Vibrant in a pretty good spot. Outsiders busy rushing in on Shellshock here. Shots going all over the place. Cryonics now seems to be the last one. Well, him and Tolu. So let's see, will they be able to get it? Rasta, of course, now one of the last few left here for the players from the Outsiders. So 4 teams remaining, 12 players left. Vibrant still in a full squad. We've got Shellshock on 2.
So tight. This is just like, we have Vibrant on the one side. We got Shellshock who've been taking fights now. Outsiders trying to raid them. We've got SG who's just been knocked out a whole bunch by the blue zone, trying to just keep themselves alive with those smokes. Vibrant pretty much looking like the strongest team at the moment. They've got a nice little elevation advantage at the top of the hill. Looking down upon the rest of the teams, we've just had to absolutely pop the hell out of all those smoke grenades to try and stay alive. Now the team's just going to get some crossfire going to try and just knock one another out and really just trying to find those heads, find those shots, land them, and survive as long as they can, because this zone is relentless, and Nova is going to be putting some hits over towards the Outsiders.
But I think I think even the position that we've got there for Shellshock is also a pretty good one. They're comfortable in zone. The Outsiders, you know, just trying to squeeze into that last little bit of zone that they've got left. The Vibrants now, of course, have to rotate all the way across the field here, trying to get up into towards zone. Cryonics now in a perfect spot to just pick them off as they move in. Oh, Cryonics goes down. Tolu is now the last one left. The Outsiders also taking a few hits. Oh, laser shots coming in. Down goes the players there from Shellshock. So Vibrant using their position to their advantage as they, of course, now rotate in. Staples goes down as well. It is now up to Andrew and Rasta. Let's see, will they be able to hold on just long enough? Will they get the clutch in? No, Andrew goes down. It's up to Rasta. Rasta now, of course, trying to move up towards his teammate. He's not in zone. We've got Vibrant closing in. Up comes the hits and gets a knock on Pounds.
Oh.
Up comes 6. Oh,
well played. Well played. Vibrant there, just capitalizing on their brilliant positioning there at the top of the hill. They had such a good advantage, and they just absolutely maximized their usage of it. Really well played, and some good fighting coming out.
Yeah, and Vibrant finishing their play off there, of course, now with 12 kills, so well done to them. The Outsiders coming in with only 3 kills this round. So it's interesting to see how the dynamics change. You know, the teams placing at the top, it keeps on changing up, and that is one of the beautiful things as well, being, you know, that we in the Pro Series, there's no particular team that is dominating the lobbies. You know, it's kind of shared across all the teams. We got Shellshock, you know, not managing to get any kills in the zone, well, this round. We got the Exiles finishing their play off there on 9 kills. We've got MEA coming in also empty-handed. The Dragons leaving with 2 kills. We got Odyssey finishing up with 4. We got Exist also empty-handed. Temper finishing their play on 2. We've got the House of Anubis finishing their play on 6. We got Hub there also on no kills. Gun finishing off on 6 as well. Ekasi empty-handed as well as Resurrection. So yeah, those it's interesting to see how the kill counts keep on changing match to match. You know, it's so the one match you'll have one team with an insane amount of kills, and the next round not necessarily.
Yeah, and I mean that a lot of that comes down to the fact that the players themselves, the teams themselves, they have the potential to do really, really well. That's why they're here. They're very, very good. But a lot of the time, it comes down to circumstances. Where you drop, who drops with you, who hits the ground first, if there's the right kit loot nearby, and getting those rotations in. We even saw now just Vibrant, because they were on such a good spot at the top of the hill, they were able to capitalize on the fact that they could see just everything, and they were able to wipe out 3 teams consecutively, one after the other. So a lot of the time, and those 3 teams that they wiped out weren't necessarily bad. They were quite competent and good enough to take the fights. But the thing is, Vibrant just had that upper hand. The fact that they were on such a good spot gave them that ability, and that's really what it ultimately comes down to at the end of the day. That's why some teams can perform so well in one round, and then maybe not in the next one. It all comes down to those sort of circumstances that happen match to match.
Yeah, no, it's true. And I mean, but one thing that it also tells me is, seeing that we've got such a rotation between the teams placing at the top, that it's a very well balanced group. It's a very competitive group, and the teams really have to battle it out to get the placing, get their position, and it's not an easy win for the teams. They have to really fight it out, get the stuff going, and the victors at the end of the day, it's a earned spot. It's not a by default. It's because you were the best out of all the teams. The whole competition, however tough it is, you managed to clutch the chicken out of their hands. So it's amazing. It's amazing. I love it.
Yeah, no, it's great to see, and like you say, it's just a good pool of skill that we've got going here. People able to really put up a good fight, and it's ultimately that ability to consistently make good decisions, make good plays, win your fights. That'll get you to the top, get you those chickens. Well played, everyone, and I'm keen for the last one.
Yeah, so we got one more match to go. It's going to be a wrangle map, of course, so be sure to stay tuned. We will be back in a few minutes time, just getting everything ready, and of course we'll bring you back once that's done. So in the meantime, let's get into the highlights from the previous match, and we shall see you shortly after. Here we go.
Yeah, Gun and Rez going to be battling it out as well. Exile's just above them. Ooh, that's going to be Rez getting knocked heavily. And I think that is going to be our first team back in the lobby. Yes, it is Rez, first team back. But the fight's still continuing. The Exiles are there with the Dragons. Gun just behind them. Ekasi still taking this fight against House of Anubis. Ooh, brilliant Gren over towards it. Yeah.
Temper getting losing a few players there. You see the knocks coming in. Ooh, Nos getting hit as well now by the Dragons. So we only got Flacco and Mayo left. The Exiles, of course, now still trying to breach here, where we've got the players from Gun. Ooh.
Yeah, everyone's playing so well. It's so difficult to crack open the defense, but they will try their absolute best. Up by Odyssey. Shots going back and forth as Exiles and Exist also taking a couple of shots amongst one another as they all try and move in towards the zone. You can see SG just behind House of Anubis as they take the fight towards Odyssey. Some great grens going back and forth.
Yeah, House of Anubis on their last little bit, and
it's the zone. See if they can make it. Shellshock just happily inside the zone. They haven't taken fights against anyone. They're just sitting there quite comfortably. No one's there, and they're in zone. They're quite happy with that. Meanwhile, the Exiles taking some shots towards Exist, but it is going to be some shots that are found. They are going to be taken down. SG moving up on the players. Their way in, fall right into the trap. The Exiles just springing that one, easily knocking them out. Getting some shots over towards MEA as they try and make their way around. Vile surviving so long, well played, but I don't know how long he has left by himself, trying to just zoom in there with the vehicle, trying to get past everyone. But SG going to be taking shots as well. Exile going to be taking shots towards outside. Vile in a very difficult spot to be in, but SG still putting those hits in. Vile finally
those the players there from Shellshock. So Vibrant using their position to their advantage as they, of course, now rotate in. Staples goes down as well. It is now up to Andrew and Rasta. Let's see, will they be able to hold on just long enough? Will they get the clutch in? No, Andrew goes down. It's up to Rasta. Rasta now, of course, trying to move up towards his teammate. He's not in zone. We've got Vibrant closing in. Up comes the hits and gets a knock on Pounds.
Oh.
Up comes 6. Oh.
I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in their cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Take my eyes open to force reality. Why can't you just let me eat my weight in glee? I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in their cradles, profanities. Some days I feel skinnier than all the other days. Sometimes I can't tell if my body belongs to me. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. redemption. Honesty is a one-way gate to hell. I want to taste consumption. Eat faster to waste oxygen. Hear the children sing aloud. It's music till the wick burns out. And count sheep.
I got enough of every melody, they all sound the same. Yeah. For my broken heart, no remedy. But maybe if you stay, we can get away with it. Cause you make me love my imperfections, answer all my questions, just to show me what's on the other side of inhibition. No apologies, my baby. I do you do cause I'm feeling so good. Oh, my darkest memories, now let me fall back. But you'll be there, ready to rescue me if I go out of track. You can get away with it. Cause you make me love my imperfections, answer all my questions, just to show me what's on the other side of inhibition. No apologies, my baby. I do you do cause I'm feeling so good. Yeah. What's on the other side of inhibition? Ooh, I do you do cause I'm feeling so cool.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. Oh, insane 3 matches we've had so far. Absolutely crazy. Yeah, and we're heading back over towards the Erangel map now, Patchy. I think this is going to be insane.
Yeah.
The players are properly warmed up now.
Yeah, for reals. And I mean, the first map that we saw, you know, on this map, the first match, it was it was pretty spicy. And well, we saw the players sort of moving away to try and not get killed so quickly, trying to you know, outlast the thing. But ultimately, at the end of the day, there's 2 options, right? You can either start taking fights early and the fights sort of go on, and then you know, you're left with a minimal amount of players who then play around and sort of, you know, just sort out the fights. Or you don't take the fights early, you stay alive as long as possible, and you end up with a final zone that just has a ton of just chaos in it. So you either get the fights in the beginning or you get the fights at the end, but the fights have to happen at some point.
Yeah,
it's just a question of time.
No, that's definitely true, and it's crazy to see just looking at how the teams have progressed and how everything has moved, you know. It's absolutely fantastic to watch, and just the level of competition that we have in this, you know, in the Pro Series, it's absolutely insane. And this is week 2.
Yeah.
Now I'm really looking forward to seeing the finals of the Pro Series. I think that is going to be absolutely insane to watch.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so as you can see, we've got our teams here. Once again, we've got the Dragons there in slot 2, Ekasi in 3, we've got Exiles in 4, Exist in 5, Gun in 6, we've got a Hub in 7, the Outsiders in 9, we've got Odyssey in 10, MEA of course in 11, Resurrection in 12, we've got Shellshock in 13, the House of Anubis in 14, the players from Spaza Gaming in 15, we've got Temper in 16, and then of course Vibrant over in slot 17. And the flight path, not it's a little bit of a more centralized flight path for this round.
Yeah, we've got it going there from Saverni all the way down to the south, just off towards the side of the military base. So a couple of drops definitely going to go ahead towards that spot. But ultimately, the flight path will allow all the teams to make their way to those typical hotspots. You know, the Rozhok, the school, the Pachinki, and of course George and Hospital. But we've got a fight already between Vibrant and SG.
Yeah, no shots already going, and we've got a few players dropping up in the Pachinki area. We've got the Dragons, of course, landing right here. It seems like Dan might be AFK. Ooh, so 6 already putting those shots in, getting his thirst in as well. So well done, well played. Not a lot of competition there, but the Dragons, Dan getting taken down. I really think he was AFK. Doesn't matter anymore. He's been sent back into the lobby now. Well, when he joins the game. When he joins the game once again. And we've got Exist here, right there with him as well. We've got our lone player there from Hub, of course, moving up in towards Pachinki. And then, of course, the players here from the House of Anubis now starting to turn their attention over towards the players there from Shellshock as they now move in over towards the southwest.
Yeah, so now we're just waiting to see if those battles do take place in our typical hotspots in the George, in the hospital, in Rozhok. Got a couple of teams, Pachinki as well, plenty of teams. Now we do see Temper moving in around that military base. You can see Gun off towards that western bridge making their way over there. There's some good space to move around in right now, so there's no necessity for fights around the outskirts right now, just players checking themselves, getting that loot, and readying themselves up for the fights that are inevitable to come.
Yeah, but it's interesting to see Simp once again this round landing in Pachinki once again, but fortunately for him there's no other team aside from the Exiles just up ahead of him. And we in the first match we had him landing in pretty much the same area, and he managed to get, well, he didn't do too bad in the first round.
Yeah.
So let's see, will he be able to get any further? Will he rotate out this time, or is he going to try and challenge the players there from the Exiles? He's pretty much in the same building where he died to... we died in the first match. In fact, he's in the exact same place. Now he's in the same place where he died.
Well, if that's not foreshadowing, I've never seen it.
Yeah.
We'll see if that pans out for him. Rest of the team's nice and casual. No one wanting to go down too quickly. No one wanting to get sent back to that lobby first. So we'll see who the victims are this time around. A little bit of a slower start at pace, but it will definitely pick up soon as the teams start getting more confident and start rotating their way around the map.
Yeah, Simp being a little bit hesitant, but it's understandable, seeing that he's, in the match alone. Don't want to try anything too foolish or too brave or too bold, because you might end up getting sent back to the lobby. There's no knock, it's just a one-way ticket straight into the lobby.
Yeah, you gotta play extra cautious and extra mega mind if you want to survive as a one player.
Yes, especially against the competition. So we've seen it. We've seen a few clutch plays, but that also mainly happens when players have taken a little bit of damage already. We got some third parties coming in and stuff like that. But if you're fighting a full healthy squad as a solo, you either got some, you know, some big kahunas on you, or yeah, you just maybe mistakenly ran into that position.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll see if any of that spicy stuff starts to happen. Once again, now we have that we have the zone all the way there towards the eastern portion of the map, meaning that a lot of those western teams and the southern teams are going to have to rotate up. You can see House of Anubis there just towards well, Nova. We could see them probably rotating up towards the bridge relatively soon. Of course, that blue zone still slowly making its way in. Nothing to worry about just yet, and we have seen a lot of players tempt the fates by just staying long enough to meet that first blue zone. They're just riding around inside of it just to make sure they don't get in too quickly. Obviously, you know, you have sort of two choices when it comes to the zone. If you're inside the zone, then you can set yourself up nice and comfy. But if you're outside of it, then you either move in and risk just running into a whole myriad of teams who are already there, or you can take your time, you know, take a long time, just slowly make your way towards that zone and hope that they knock each other out, providing a large enough hole for you to make it inside.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. But maybe even we might see the players here from Exist now. You know, maybe it might evolve into them bumping into the players up ahead of them there. You know, seeing the players there from MEA as they're patiently... Oh no, sorry, that's the outsiders. So yeah, it's a bit of a... Well, there we go. The shot's flying straight up over towards Aero. Ooh, and crash. We've also seen a few players get knocked out by doing exactly that move. Ooh, we might... Let's see. Will Temper now set up a bit of a bridge camp there, seeing that we've got the House of Anubis players, of course, now over in the Novo area there. Good gun rotating up. Still waiting for MEA. The Dragons and, of course, the players there from Resurrection now to start making their way in. Aero is on the way. Bob now just on their side. As you can see, Aero just throwing a quick glance over towards him there. I'm making up new words as I go.
Yeah, I mean, why not, right? Why not?
Yeah. Welcome to PUBGMobile. Ooh, wait. Temper closing in on Shellshock. This I want to see.
Ooh, we've got our explosions.
Yes, sir. Where's Findog? Oh, the red zone got him. Oh, and Supreme.
Oh.
You know what they say about the red zone, hey?
Yeah, we've heard the whispers of what they say about the red zone. Unfortunately, anyone can get caught out in there. Obviously, there's no guarantee whether or not it will hit you. It's unfortunate, but they should be able to recover, no problem. There's no one around them to capitalize on that just certain weakness there, so they should be fine. But ultimately, Gun going to be moving up towards Temper, actually, who are right on the side of Vibrant. This could be interesting.
Yeah, and I even think we're going to see Ekasi now starting to put those shots across. Ekasi, of course, holding up in that big warehouse there. They do have a pretty good spot, but there's also quite a bit of cover for the Temper guys. And we might even see this triangle now going at it, you know, seeing that we've got Pounds just coming out of the, you know, out of the bunker there, making his way out into some fresh air. There we go, shots already starting to fly across now. Now it's basically just a matter of time whether we will see the players here from Temper, Ekasi and Vibrant battling it out. The shots have already started flying across, so there's no more hiding, no more surprise factor. So let's see, will they get these hits?
Yeah, Gun made a good decision to get out of there really quickly. So it's only just these three teams, and Ekasi already taking some damage as Temper, they're putting the hits through. Also getting ready to rotate out there. They are prepping their vehicles to see where they can go.
They're going to rush. Here they come.
Yeah, and this is a good decision here, actually. Isolate the fights rather than fighting two players at once. Just take one of the teams, and they move up towards the players there from Ekasi. Let's see if their assault is successful. Ooh.
And Vibrant coming in with a third party there. Wow. Oh, what a grain by Broly. Flacco goes down. Down goes Temper. First team out.
Wow, that you know what? That is just some spicy stuff right there. Obviously, Temper making a decision to try and get in there, isolate a fight. Vibrant coming up behind him. Ekasi wins it. But now Vibrant and Ekasi have some shots for one another. And you can hear those shots going through. Got some wounds to heal before they can take this fight, but yeah, that was just a spicy fight to watch there. And unfortunately, Temper they get swept back to the lobby first.
Up comes Pounds now. He is rushing the compound, same as what Temper did. Now let's see how far he's going to get. Will he be able to make it? He of course runs straight up over towards the crates of Temper, trying to get some of the loot they have. Oh, up comes the remainder of Vibrant now, rushing up onto the side. Shots flying in. Down goes Bait. We got Ares and Reverb now just left inside, trying to just survive the onslaught here. We got Spaza Gaming, of course, now also rotating up. Simp getting a quick hit there on Hidden. And down he goes. Horus, of course, finishing him off.
No, Vibrant doing such a good job here. Being able to do a better job than Temper here in assaulting this compound, but of course Temper maybe softening the meat up a little bit for this takedown. But here come Vibrant. Ekasi also getting the hits back, but ultimately Vibrant are going to be winning it out. So well played to them. They suffer heavy losses, but Pounds ultimately getting that final hit in and take down Ekasi. They sent back to the lobby third, so we have 12 teams remaining, 46 players.
Yeah, well, what a beautiful play that was. I mean, that was a clutch if I've ever seen one there by Pounds. Well done, well played. That was amazing. Well done. It's almost as exciting as the vehicles blowing up. So let's see. We've got Gun now moving up over towards the north there. We've got the players here from Odyssey potentially putting a few shots in towards the team here from Resurrection as they're moving up. Paul G taking a few hits as they try and rotate up in towards zone. Trying to find some good plays, but they are now heading straight up towards Gun. So I think this is going to be an interesting one. Oh, down goes G. Dizzy now getting hit. Shot still flying, hits the tree, down he goes. Oh, now we got Mr. Thrax and Psycho Wolf just casually rolling in from off in the distance there. You know, no rush. We got Odyssey now getting hit as well right here on the drop. Spaza Gaming just opening fire on them. Sidon, is he the last one? Let's see, will he make it? Oh, gets a beautiful hit in on Berserk. Sidon is, well, the only one left here. Gets these first in, shots flying in still. Will he make it? Trying to smoke it up. He's about to get, well, he might get rushed. We have some shots coming in there from MEA as well. Ooh, there we go. The Outsiders now starting to open fire on some of the teams here. We got Dizzy fairly close there to Gun. We got Vibrant holding their space. Ooh, shots still coming in. Up comes the team from Odyssey to rescue their teammate. Let's see, will they be able to make it up in towards safety? MEA, of course, just up ahead, and several shots now flying in from all directions. Rez getting hit by Gun as well. Vibrant getting a quick hit on the Outsiders. Odyssey now trying to make it up in towards safety. They are really trying to escape. Vibrant, of course, now, as you can see, battling it out right here with the players from the Outsiders as they move in. We got Luffy, the last survivor. Jess also right there. Oh, shots flying in, shooting underneath. Andrew comes in and gets the hit. Well done.
Well played. Well played. Well, that's going to leave us with a fairly open map right now. The zone not yet small enough to squeeze any players too cuddly together, so we'll just be waiting for that blue zone to come in and make things a little bit tighter. We can see Rez a little bit close to the Dragons there, but whether they will engage or not is yet to be seen. Players pretty much all inside the zone now, so nothing too crazy going to happen in terms of making it in. We're just going to have to wait and see where that next zone drops and where it forces these players to go.
So hopefully we'll see that action. We're just waiting for it now. Like you mentioned, the map, of course, now opening up as all the teams get taken down. Yeah. hopefully we'll see this fight between the Dragons and Res. That'd be quite cool to see.
Yeah.
But now it's a bit of a waiting game. Oh, we also have Odyssey getting fairly close to Spaza Gaming, and then of course the house of Anubis down in the south, way out of reach of anyone.
Yeah, yeah. They're gonna be quite happy just to sit there for the moment. That blue zone still has a little bit of distance to cover before it gets in. Now we're just waiting to see if anyone will run into one another. You can see Exist, MEA, Odyssey, and of course SG. They're quite close, but yeah, whether they will tangle or not is will be left to see. Probably just waiting for that next zone to fall. You can see Exile's moving in quite close here. Res and Dragons might be in for a bit of surprise as Exile's roll up.
Yeah, let's see. We might have that. Just hoping to see the action here. But I mean, we've seen some beautiful plays by Res as well. Psycho, Wolf, and Thrax, both of them putting in some, doing some good work, some great shots. And yeah, so what we've also learned is it ain't over until it's over. Like there's no way of really saying who's going to win the fight between the particular players. It's only over once, that particular team has been sent back to the lobby, because we've seen some beautiful clutches.
Seen some nice hits coming through, actually.
Yeah.
Exile's taking a bit of damage there. It's being warded away as the shots try and come through from the Dragons there. Doing a bit of damage, going to force the Exiles off there to try and just rotate around. But now they'll be very close to Res, so they've just gone from one fight to another. Although they might have a better chance here, considering Res is down to 2 players.
Yeah, well, and also it's like they took a little bit of time to start their rotation with the vehicle there. And exactly like I said in the previous matches, like, the moment that you get into the vehicle, that's when you place yourself in the most vulnerable position, because the vehicle is fairly stationary for that first little while. And yeah, Thrax getting a beautiful pounce there on Cheddar, gets those hits in. Hidden getting a beautiful knock on Thrax now. Now it's up to Psycho Wolf. Let's see, will he be able to get this in? Odyssey also now getting hit there by MEA. The Dragons, of course, still in the distance. They're focusing their attention, of course, now over to here. And MG gets the finish.
Yeah, nice nade tossed in there. Very well played. Just coming in there, making sure that's cleaned out. That's what the nades are good for. Now we've got that zone falling down towards the south. The AOH going to be very happy with that one. They can just sit there towards the south all by their lonesome, not have to worry too much about anything. Now the rest of the teams up towards the north going to be making their way down. You can see the Dragons putting their first foot on that accelerator, making sure they get in there as quick as possible. And well, Odyssey, SG, Gun, MEA, and Exist, as well as the Exiles, going to have to make their way in slowly. And I'm seeing a little bit of a sandwich form towards the north there.
Yeah, let's see. Oh, well, there's a lot of potential in this next zone. Just looking at Gun's movement there, they might maybe just move up over towards Spaza Gaming. They are getting quite close, so they might even rotate up in towards the direction there of Prison. And then of course MEA on the roll as well. Exist still lagging behind a little bit, ever so slightly there. But they are also on the move, and pretty much all the teams are either in zone or making their way up in towards zone. So I'm glad to see that we've got those rotations, underway, with the teams coming in, and Gun and Odyssey both flanking around each side of the prison there. And maybe we'll see Gun now push up over towards Shellshock.
Yeah. Well, you'll notice that most of the teams that have been lagging behind here, such as Exist and MEA, they don't go directly towards the zone. They know that's a hot spot, so they always take the outside route along the edges. They're just along the outskirts of the remaining zone and just trying to get in there around. You can see now that has caused MEA to be moving right alongside Odyssey here, who's right next to Gun, who's right next to Shellshock, who's right next to Dragon. So we have, once again, a bit of a sandwich forming here right along the horizontal of the zone.
Yeah, they're all lining up. And yeah, we might even get a bit of a chain effect going here, seeing that we've got so many teams all lined up for action. And Odyssey now on the move. Are they going to bump into Gun? Gun also busy mobilizing once again. Off they go. Are they going to try and reposition?
Exist is making their way in as well. They could be greeted interestingly here, although it looks like they have realized that there are some enemies there. They're just going to be turning around. Everyone's trying to get into a more safe spot. No one wants to be in a position where they can just knock each other one by one like chess pieces. They want to try and get themselves into a better position to take one-on-ones. One-on-ones are definitely a lot more easy, especially, you know, considering you fighting more than one team at the same time. It becomes very difficult and opens up potential, you know, other threats. And yeah, that's going to be the motivation for some of the teams just to make their way out. You can see the Exiles just decide to move their way out closer to the outskirts of the zone just to get themselves out of the hot spot. And well, the rest of the teams, MEA, Odyssey, and Exist, just sorting themselves out in a little bit of a triangle going on there. Just make sure they're not too much in the risky spot. And well, now we're going to see if any of the teams decide to pick a fight or if they're just going to wait for the next zone.
Yeah, we'll see in due time as the zone, of course, now starts closing in. The Dragons now getting hit here by Shellshock, as there's not a lot of they do have some cover in the building, but I mean the position is fairly, you know, obvious there, unless of course they can use the building to their advantage and try and escape, you know, unscathed. But at the current moment there's no immediate need for them to move. They know they're not in any particular danger just yet. But we'll see now when the blue zone comes in where the zone's going to shift to, and yeah, that will then of course bring with it a lot of action and a lot of teams then getting flushed and pushed right onto each other. So yeah, let's hope. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, there we have it. So Odyssey doesn't have to move that far. MEA Exist, also not a big rotation, but we'll see which way around they decide to go. The Outsiders, however, and the Exiles, as well as the players there from Spaza Gaming, they've got quite some distance to cover, and moving into this zone is going to be a bit of a tough one. The terrain in this region of the zone also quite an interesting one. You got a few hills, you know, you got some high ground on both sides actually, so this is definitely going to make it quite interesting seeing where these players and teams then decide to move towards. So
yeah,
for some
well,
teams,
we're going to see. No, go ahead, sir.
For some teams it will be a bit of an uphill battle, as you can see the players here from Spaza Gaming, of course, now doing exactly that, heading up the hill over towards Odyssey. Yeah,
I'm going to see how this fight pans out. Like you said, we're definitely going to see some things happening here as where teams go one into another and start bunching up towards the north. There are plenty of teams. You can see House of Anubis finally going to be challenged as Exist get their rotate on, go in there towards the south. So they'll have a little bit of a company towards the south there, which they have lacked for quite some time. You'll see Exiles moving all the way to the north. They're actually doing a clockwise rotation all the way around the edge of that blue zone, trying to avoid all the fights, but actually they might just run into a whole bunch of them because there are a ton of teams up here towards the northeast. We've got Outsiders, SG, we've got Odyssey, MEA, Gun, Shellshocked, and the Dragons all up here towards this portion. So there's definitely about to be some intense fighting that's about to go down.
Yeah, we will see. We got the shots, of course, as you mentioned, flying up. And it'd be interesting to see where these teams decide to go, you know, with the zone shift. As blue zone is now, of course, pushing up. Oh, there we go. Odyssey now on the receiving end here, as the Exiles move in, rushing right up to J Roller. The Outsiders, of course, moving up over towards Spaza. So let's see, will they be able to fend them off? And then, of course, MEA not too far behind, also moving in. Ooh, Molly's and oh, there we go. Down goes J Roller.
Oh yeah, nice mollies tossed in there. We still got plenty of clumping here. The Exiles right here on top of Odyssey. MEA right off to the side. Plenty of action potential about to happen. Ooh, we can hear the shots ringing off. J Roller going to be taken down. Odyssey has to try and answer back, but they have to make their way up here because the Exiles have claimed their spot. A lot of teams now just rolling around. You can see the Outsiders moving in right in between SG and Shellshock. Shellshock going to start taking shots towards the Outsiders. Shots going through. Do they land? Just trying not to get knocked completely out. But the zone is tiny now, and it's all the way towards the south. So there's a lot of running and driving that these teams have to do.
And we're going to see quite a lot of kills coming in this section, because we've got so many teams up in the north, unless of course the teams start rotating up early enough, to try and get a good position in the next zone. If they're going to try and stay behind, they've got 1 minute to kind of conclude the fight here, or start moving up into a better position. So this is going to be quite a big determining factor for the rest of the match. Just the zone, whether the teams decide to move in or whether or not they're going to try and stay around. Gun and MEA already now getting their rotations on, moving up over towards the zone there. The Dragons also in zone, and a lot of crossfires now taking place over towards the outsiders there. Rasta and Jess now getting pinned. Yep, there we go. Vehicle getting blown up.
Yeah, Shellshock holding a good position there in the buildings. They've got some nice view over towards some of the players up there in the forest. You've got SG just here on the outskirts. They're smoked off, trying to make sure that they are sitting safe. Of course, everyone needs to make their way in towards that zone. And, well, they're going to have to move as quickly as they can to try and get in there. Because the longer they sit here and try and take a fight, the more difficult it's going to get. But, of course, if you don't... You can always catch out the players that are leaving, but it's a great Gren from Gun. Oh my. Well played. You can see the fights just happening everywhere.
Wow, and another wipe just here from the fight that we've got here. The Exiles taking out the Odyssey team. Well done. They are now, of course, pushing up on Exist. So Odyssey and Exist, Exiles and Exist, both now of them double teaming the players there from Odyssey, taking them down, finishing them off. We've got Gun and the players here from SG now battling it out for control of this little section of zone. Oh, SS getting hit by the Dragons as well as they now try and move up. Tolu getting hit. House of Anubis putting some shots in towards Shellshock there. Gun also trying to contribute to that, trying to get a few hits in while they can. While everyone is, of course, now on the move. The zone has shifted up once again. Exist getting hit by the Exiles. So a lot of fights now taking place as these teams now get forced on top of each other. We've got the House of Anubis now putting those hits in. Cryonics goes down. Ooh, the Exiles coming in with a nice third party on them there as well. The Outsiders rotating up, just making their way towards zone, covered in smoke.
Yeah, right now we've got a very difficult situation for everyone. SS, they're pretty much trapped here towards the road. They're getting shot at by from all directions, should I say, by so many teams. Gun sitting there in the house, just putting pot shots there through the smoke. Exiles doing the same. You can see House of Anubis just atop of that hill overlooking the road, and Dragons right behind them. So now we're just trying to wait and see if the Shellshock team can survive this very difficult spot. Meanwhile, Exile going to be putting some hits in of their own. House of Anubis taking some shots towards the Outsiders as well. Dragons moving in behind House, and Exile still taking the shots over towards Outsiders.
Yeah, they finished them off just now.
Yeah, and that's Shellshock also getting hit pretty hard. Preset, the last one left. Not a lot of room to move, not a lot to do, but the Exiles exist. They have to start moving in as that zone just absolutely pushes them up. But Gun is right here. They're going to take so many shots towards the Exiles. Exiles going to get caught out in a big way here as they drive straight past a house completely occupied by Gun. They're going to try and assault it with what they have, but they're so low on HP, it's not going to be easy. Vehicle AOH as well getting assaulted there as Dragons move in, trying to get those hits in. Exiles putting a lot of work in, but ultimately Gun going to come out on top of that one. They wipe that squad out. Hits are still coming through though. Preset still alive there for Shellshock as House of Anubis turn their attention towards the Dragons. Check West going to be falling. Gun getting hit as well. This is just crazy right now.
Yeah, and the Dragons, of course, now getting taken out there by the House of Anubis. So a beautiful move though there by the Dragons. They waited until Anubis had taken quite a bit of damage, and then decided to move in from behind, try and get a few more kills in, and it paid off in a sense.
Yeah, And now we have 3 teams and 7 players. Preset's right in the middle of it all. And I'm not sure if House of Anubis have actually spotted him out yet or not. But now we have Risks and NerfMe who are going to try and battle this out. And somebody needs to spot Preset out because they're in a very precarious position. They could do some damage, but if they get spotted out, it's pretty much over for them.
Yeah.
You can see Pronto trying to go on the rotate there. Risks and Nerf just trying to hold their position here. There's a good bit of cover for these blocks here on the side of the road. Just offering a little bit of cover to try and take these shots in here. But this zone is definitely about to get a whole lot smaller. Things are about to get spicy.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, there's the chaos that Preset can start tossing in. But that's going to give away his position as well. So they could start hunting.
They could, but... Down goes Nerf.
Ooh, he gets spotted out. That zone gets smaller. Preset just over the crest of the hill. Oh, that nade is going to absolutely take him out. Perfectly tossed. And now it's just Risks against 4 members or 3 members. And it is not very long for the living. Yeah, there it is. GG,
Yeah.
well played.
Well done, well done. There we go. So that, of course, brings us to the end of our 4th match of today. The last one for week 2. Man, yeah, once again, a complete change up with the teams. No way of predicting who's going to end up where. We've got the House of Anubis finishing off in chicken position. They're finishing, well, coming out with 9 kills on that one. We've got Gun, taking 2nd place. They're, of course, finishing off on 10 kills. We've got the players there from Shellshock, once again, with, going out empty-handed, but finishing in 3rd place. We've got the Dragons also finishing off empty-handed there. The players from Exist only managing to get 1 kill in. We got the Exiles finishing their play off on 12 kills. Then, of course, we've got Spaza Gaming also only on 1 kill there. The Outsiders on 4. We've got Odyssey managing to claim 1. And we've got MEA with 2 kills in 10th place. Resurrection, unfortunately, also going out empty-handed there. Vibrant managing to rake in 7 kills. Ekasi only getting 3 kills in that one. Simp not managing to get any kills as well. And then, of course, Temper getting slaughtered right in the beginning there. And that is the beauty of the Battle Royale. That is the beauty of it. I mean, and we've seen this a few times, teams that place very well in the matches come to this one match in particular and then lobby. They land and then they get taken out. It's just the luck of the draw. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but welcome to PUBGMobile, I guess.
Yeah, well, everyone put in a really good show today. Everyone in the lobby just doing a really good job. So well played, and I'm excited to see more. Yeah,
no, that was definitely fantastic play by all the teams. I mean, I don't think we had much dead time in the broadcast today. It was pretty exciting. So well done to everyone. Well done to the teams, the players. You guys have been absolutely fantastic. And it's only week 2. I don't even want to think what week 3 and the finals are going to look like.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's definitely going to be quite spicy. So I'm excited to get there when it comes. But until then, I guess we'll see you later.
Yeah, there we go. Right, so let's get into the highlights from match, and then of course after that we're going to end off the stream. But thank you so much everyone for watching. Be sure to join us back again on Monday when we get into our week 3 of the Open Series. There you go. That is it from our side. Have a fantastic rest of your week, and see you all back again on Monday for the Open Series.
Yeah, cheerio.
There we go.
Actually isolate the fights rather than fighting 2 players at once. Just take one of the teams. They move up towards the players there from Ekasi. See if their assault is successful. Ooh.
And Vibrant coming in with a 3rd party there. Wow. Oh, what a grain by Broly. Flacco goes down. Down goes Temper. First team out. Just survive the onslaught here. We got Spaza Gaming, of course, now also rotating up. Simp getting a quick hit there on Hidden. And down he goes. Horus, of course, finishing him off.
No, Vibrant doing such a good job here. being able to do a better job than Tempa here in assaulting this compound. But of course, Tempa maybe softening the meat up a little bit for this takedown. But here come Vibrant. Ekasi also getting
directions. Rez getting hit by Gun as well. Vibrant getting a quick hit on the outsiders. Odyssey now trying to make it up in towards safety. They are really trying to escape. Vibrant, of course, now, as you can see, battling it out right here with the players from the outsiders as they move in. We got Luffy, the last survivor. Jess also right there. Oh, shots flying in, shooting underneath. Andrew comes in and gets the hit. This match is like, you know, the moment that you get into the vehicle, that's when you place yourself in the most vulnerable position, because the vehicle is fairly stationary for that first little while. And yeah, Thrax getting a beautiful pounce there on Cheddar, gets those hits in. Hidden getting a beautiful knock on Thrax now. Now it's up to Psycho Wolf. Let's see, will he be able to get this in? Odyssey also now getting hit there by MEA. The Dragons, of course, still in the distance. They're focusing their attention, of course, now over to here. And MG gets the...
holding a good position there in the buildings. They've got some nice view over towards some of the players up there in the forest. You've got SG just here on the outskirts. They're smoked off, trying to make sure that they are sitting safe. Of course, everyone needs to make their way in towards that zone. And, well, they're going to have to move as quickly as they can to try and get in there. Because the longer they sit here and try and take a fight, the more difficult it's going to get. But, of course, if you don't, you can always catch out the players that are leaving. But actions, should I say, by so many teams. Gun sitting there in the house, just putting pot shots there through the smoke. Exile's doing the same. You can see House of Anubis just atop of that hill overlooking the road, and Dragons right behind them. So now we're just trying to wait and see if the Shellshock team can survive this very difficult spot. Meanwhile, Exile going to be putting some hits in of their own. House of Anubis taking some shots towards the outsiders as well. Dragons moving in behind House vehicle. AOH as well getting assaulted there as Dragons move in, trying to get those hits in. Exile's putting a lot of work in, but ultimately Gun going to come out on top of that one. They wipe that squad out. The hits are still coming through though. Preset still alive there for Shellshock as House of Anubis turn their attention towards the Dragons. Check West going to be falling. Gun getting hit as well. This is just crazy right now.
Yeah, and the Dragons, of course, now getting taken out there by the House of...
Whole lot smaller. Things are about to get spicy.
Ooh,
there's the chaos that Preset can start tossing in, but that's going to give away his position as well, so they could start hunting.
They could, but... Down goes Nerf.
He gets spotted out. That zone gets smaller. Preset just over the crest of the hill. Oh, that nade is going to...
They could, but... Down goes Nerf.
He gets spotted out. That zone gets smaller. Preset just over the crest of the hill. Oh, that nade is going to absolutely take him out. Perfectly tossed. And now it's just risks against 4 members or 3 members. And it is not very long for the living. Yeah, there it is. GG, well played.